jump in and save the day here.
It is wild, though, that we've gotten to the point where they're just like, let them run.
Yeah.
I mean, but I get it, too. Like, do you want your employee chasing somebody that might lose their mind and have a weapon or something? You know, I mean.
No, I remember.
I see the other side of it.
Prevention Loss Department over in Brookwood. And I forgot which one. It was like the Riches or maybe the Parisians, one of the two. But somebody was stealing something, and they got approached by that officer, and chick pulled out a razor blade and cut him up.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Well, see, I mean, that could easily be your store employee. Now, what do you have on your
Well,
hands?
if you got the store employee's got a gun, you just, you know.
Well, yeah, but generally store employee's not going to be packing heat.
No, probably not.
The police officer was. That's going to be a huge difference there.
At Taco Bell, they just told us to hand over all the money and then just be observant so that way you can give a good statement.
Okay.
So,
did you ever get robbed at Taco Bell?
No, I saw a lot of other nasty stuff there, though.
Do they really have a meat tube?
Hey,
that's an urban legend. That's not true. It's not much better.
I mean, I don't care. I mean, I'm
but
still going to eat there, but
yeah.
It's a bag of meat, isn't it?
yeah, it's just a bag of meat you drop in hot water for 30 minutes, and you got seasoned beef.
very fresh, right?
Oh yeah, and refried beans. It's like you got a bag of these like brown pellets. It looks like kibble, and you throw it in hot water and stir it up, and it bubbles up and turns into refried beans.
Are you kidding me?
I swear, it's disgusting.
Hey, that's what I layer my Mexican pizza with.
I know.
The few times I've been.
I didn't even know they had black beans. I thought they were only refried beans.
No, they're
And
refried
it's a
beans.
free substitution.
No, he's saying
Oh,
you got
black beans?
At Taco Bell? I did not know that.
Are they fresher than the others, or is it the
I
same
mean,
way as
they're
the bag of
frozen,
stuff?
but
Fresher. They're not in the bag.
they're frozen. It's not like the kibble that bubbles up.
What's the number one seller at Taco Bell when you were there?
Crunchwrap Supreme.
Okay.
And Mexican pizza
Yes!
was
Yeah,
not
it's
far
so
behind.
freaking good.
If Tyler will still eat Mexican pizza, that was the question I was going to ask, but I was hesitant. I didn't want you to say,
Well,
brown.
I wouldn't eat it. I'm saying that's what a lot of people eat.
Oh, I'll eat it.
Is
I
that
love
the only
Mexican
place you can get a Baja Blast? Because it seems like
Yes.
all the kids are like Baja Blasted.
Only
Yeah.
restaurant that serves Baja
Okay,
Blast.
okay.
You can get cans of Baja Blast.
Dunaway, when are you getting your next tattoo? This next story.
I don't know, man.
This is a blunder.
Probably sometime between watching The Holiday or something else, but I think about it a lot. I was talking about it on Saturday morning with Maggie.
There's been some chatter in the chat that for the next bracket challenge.
All today's Next Round on demand through the podcast platform of your choice, Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcast, wherever you listen. Always like, follow, subscribe, and turn on automatic downloads so you never miss any part of the next round.
Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. The social media team at Next Round Live is dedicated to giving you daily news conferences and practice video from UAB, Alabama, Auburn, and around college football. Follow and compare to the sites you used to visit. You'll also get the latest highlights and news from the Next Round Daily Show. Turn on the notifications so you don't miss a thing. Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. See more at nextroundlive.com.
Get all your favorite Next Round gear all in one place. NextRound.store. From our Next Round hats to the logo tees to the all-time best-selling Y'all Can Have the Rest shirt. You can look your best by shopping with us at NextRound.store. Take the next round anywhere with NextRound.store.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
All right, ready to go on a football Friday now. And before we get into all the celebration on Auburn game day, what we saw last night, I hadn't even really thought about last night again yet. I've been so excited about what's happening tonight with Auburn and Waco, and I know a lot of fans are traveling out there or there already. Not as bad a drive as you would think, but hopefully a lot of you flew out there. We'll talk about that here in the opening segment. We'll get to the big Micah Parsons trade. We've got to squeeze that in there. Todd Fuhrman's with us today. We got our pick three. We got our Monday headlines, all that happening today on the show. But first, we want to say thank you to the fine folks with Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys and the folks at Walk-Ons, and then all of you that came out last night to our fifth kickoff party. What a great, everybody that was in charge up here and out there that put that together last night. Just a great setup, great put together, and a great showing. Everybody had a great time there, great giveaways from our friends at Bud Light and Alexander Chenard trial attorneys. Just a really good time last night.
Breakline gave away sunglasses.
Breakline with sunglasses. The giveaways were tremendous, and the crowd seemed to really enjoy it.
And a lot of Bud Light consumed.
No doubt, my friend. There was plenty of that. A lot of good food eaten. A lot of good football, man. We had some football on. That was pretty fun, too, having some actual games on during the party.
Yeah, if I would have told you there was going to be one really good game, you would have said, probably South Florida and Boise.
Yeah, that was not the one.
No.
I am constantly blown away by our audience. No more so than when we all got there at differing times. The first couple I met that was there for the party had driven up from Auburn, Alabama.
Do you remember their names?
They were a very nice couple, Jim.
I don't either.
I just
I'm
remember
sorry.
the guy telling me, I have been listening to you since I was 10 years old. And I was like, I appreciate that. I don't know if that's a compliment.
Very nice thing to say.
Right.
The guy had a full beard. He's engaged.
That's what we met his fiancée,
Yeah.
and they're just now getting their house at Auburn. Auburn people that are going to live in Auburn and listen to the show drove up to the walk-ons on 280 to hang out with us. So we're going back last night. She was the designated driver, the fiancé, and he rolled around after we saw him as the party got going, and he had a big cup of the Ryan Brown recommended drink off the walk-ons menu, which I think has it's their version of the Long Island iced tea.
Is it the Death Valley?
Tyler had one. How's the Death Valley, Tyler?
It's tasty.
Yeah. I was like, dude, are you drinking their all-white liquor drink? And he's like, I don't know. Brown just told me this is the one to get off the menu. So I got
Hey,
it.
true story. I went with a client one time, and they had 2 of those. And by the end of the meeting, they were like, hey, do you just put whatever together and we're going to spend it?
Yeah. Well, I
They
told
didn't
him,
say it that clearly either.
as he did one of these sips out of it, as he went,
Yep.
I said, this is the time I point out to you that our friends at Adams Beverage and Bud Light has Uber service.
Yes.
I live in Auburn.
Back to anywhere you want to go. And I go, I know you're from Auburn. I said, I'll kick in and get the rest of it that it doesn't cover to get you back to Auburn. He's like, no. She's the designated driver tonight. So,
Yeah, I don't know if you guys ever heard of Harry's. It was a bar in Tuscaloosa. It was across the tracks, but they had a Harry's Crazy Bucket.
And
they
told this. Well, I remember you now.
They would
Yes.
pour everything in it, and by the way, they really made it safe. You could get them to go, so you could just get right in the car with that Harry's bucket.
Did they go and put a straw in it? Or
But literally, their thing was we pour everything behind the bar in it, and I don't think they poured everything, but close to it. But that's what you get basically with that Death Valley.
That's I remember you telling that story on radio, and the feedback, like it must have been. Is it in Tuscaloosa?
Yeah.
It must have been an Alabama rite of passage. The feedback we got.
Oh, I
the
do
day you
remember
told
that now.
story.
Yeah. We
But
finally
it's
found
one
a
of those.
photo.
Like I've never done peyote or what's the hallucinate that Aaron Rodgers did?
Awakusha.
Ayahuasca?
Ayahuasca, yes.
Yeah, but I mean, when you sat down with the Harry's bucket, you were prepared to go different places. You didn't know where you were going to wake up. It was one of those.
Yeah.
So
Also had 10-cent natty night.
Oh, did they? Oof.
So-
They get you quick, Brooks.
Our fine friends at Walk-Ons, always nice to Matt and Ken and the guys who did everything to entertain us, and all the wait staff out there are always so tremendous. And then my buddy actually won a huge raffle there at the end.
Well, that was the grand prize, a 15-year Pappy. For those of you that are not bourbon drinkers, Pappy Van Winkle, one of the most expensive bourbons out there, right?
It's just, and I don't know how it caught fire like it did.
I don't either.
But for bourbon consumers, it is kind of the goat for a lot of people.
And that is from Alexander Chenara's personal collection there. He's got a Pappy collection that he has been very, very kind to share with our audience a couple times now.
Well, Sammer told me, he was like, I was supposed to bring a bottle of 10.
I'm
and he's
blind.
like, I looked up there, it's a 15.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not blind. That's got a 15.
That's my buddy right there, Mike. I play golf with him, great insurance agent here locally. And
before you claim anything, Alex actually drew the name. Alex drew his name.
I was inside.
Yeah.
And from where I was inside, finally made it over to talk to Forrester and Tyler. Had not seen them all night, seen them in passing. So I finally made it over to talk to them, and I leaned against the table. And all I could see was the top of a bald head and 2 arms up like this walking up towards the table.
Right.
And he had been calling it all night long. He goes, Dunaway, I'm hanging around. I was like, hey, you guys are leaving yet? And he's like, I'm hanging around for that Pappy drawing. I'm going to win that thing. Because he loves bourbon. We went to our golf trip to the bourbon trail.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we had to put clubs in other trucks. He brought so much bourbon back from up there, loves bourbon. He goes, I'm going to win that 15. I'm going to win that 15. And I was like, okay, whatever. And then I see arms in the air and just the top of a bald head walking. And I was like, did they just give the bourbon away? Did Mike just win that bourbon? And I just poked my head out as he was spinning around. And I just gave him a thumbs up and walked back in because I didn't want to be anywhere near it to think it was somehow.
No. Alexander Shinara himself drew the name, so there were no shenanigans there.
That's a $2,500 bottle.
Is that what that is?
Well, that's him there again. That was my buddy. Another group of people last night I was talking to. I was like, "Are you guys bourbon drinkers?" And I was like, "Yeah, they're bourbon drinkers." And they're like, "But what's this Pappy stuff?" And I was like, "Well, if you win, somebody's going to offer you cash for it. Take the cash.
If you have to ask what is Pappy,
you
take the cash.
You stick with Jim Beam." And,
But he didn't take cash, right?
Oh no! I told him. I said, "Hey, they'll buy it back if you want to buy it back." He's like,
Nope.
He's
Yeah. I've got, we've got a bottle up here that we hide and we break it out every now and then, but I've got a bottle at the house and I got to break it open sooner than later. What is that celebration?
I don't know. Rams winning the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
I mentioned the Sammer last night. I've yet to taste the Pappy, so
so he's going to bring you a bottle.
And my guy was like,
"Hey, I can bring it out right here.
If you give me a shot of it, I need it. My throat's killing me, man.
All right.
I got a little something. I've never tasted it.
I will bust it out next break."
Okay, there you go.
We'll kick off the Pick 3 season with a little
Pappy.
little sip
Now,
of
the
bourbon.
last time, I will tell you this, and this full disclosure behind the curtain, you guys know this, my alarm was going off for 2 hours this morning without me getting up.
And that was no Pappy.
I got home, watched the end of Nebraska-Cincinnati. We had a couple that stayed with us last night, so I was up till 1, like an idiot. And so if we start drinking Pappy right now, I just remember one time... It was after Frank Bromberg's 50th birthday, and me and Tony Curry did a show. Kelly Hunter was like a guest host, and thank God she showed up because we did it at the Sneaky Pete's Cafe, and I remember it was Herb's client. It's where...
I know right where you're talking about.
Yeah, the place in Lakeview, which ended up being 5. Yeah.
Okay, yep.
But immediately Herb brought us, he was like, "Hey, we're doing this special. It's like $1 beer." And so me and Tony started drinking those $1 beers after being out all night.
Yeah.
And... boy, it quickly gets you back to where you were, and thank God Kelly was there because she had to finish the show out. Yep. And that's when Haney called me and Tony into the office on Monday.
The suit got after you?
He was like, "I just need to know, were you drinking on the air Friday?"
No.
And we looked at each other and we were like, "Absolutely not."
Yeah, why would you ask that?
Is that a rule? Was that a rule? Seriously?
Oh, yeah. FCC
an
regulation.
FCC rule, you cannot drink alcohol on the air? It is a good time to remind everyone, we are not FCC regulated.
I do not believe that to be true.
Oh, it's true.
Yeah, I knew that in television commercials, you can't show people actually consuming. And that is
you
still
learned
a
that.
rule.
Yeah, you learned that from
beer commercials.
Shane Gillis and
and that is still a
Post
true
Malone.
thing.
Post Malone. Yeah,
that is still a true thing today. I mean, the rules we have in this country, but that is still a rule today. But I didn't know you couldn't sit there and sip a cold beer. I mean, Harry Carey drank on the air all the time.
Yeah.
Well publicized.
I think some guys were
plenty
above
of
the
people
rules.
did it.
Huh?
Yeah, I just don't think you're supposed to.
Yeah.
I remember that story, and I remember that is how I learned you can't drink on the air.
Yeah.
But again, we're not
I'll tell
FCC
you-
regulated, so next segment for Dunaway is First Taste of Pappy.
I will tell you that Landrum and I, every one of those Friday night shows that we did at different sports bars all over the state, I think our buddy Patrick had us hooked up with those. I can't remember which salesperson. Maybe it was Kelsey. I can't remember. But we'd be in Tuscaloosa, different ones all over Birmingham.
Y'all
we
had to drink?
always had a cold beer or two.
Oh, I got so at Oak Hill Bar and Grill down in Homewood, we did a show called Uncensored. It was me, Ian Fitzsimmons, Ryan Haney, and I forgot who the fourth was. But I remember our tech turned me in for drinking on that show, and I got called into the general manager's office, and he's like, "It's in the employee handbook. You cannot be drinking."
You think I read the employee handbook? By the way, that tag well, never mind.
The guys are watching, and they're sending pictures of all the screenshots of Mike with the Pappy there.
He's a legend now.
And we have 8 guys rotating in our golf group. And Mike is always the guy that provides the birdie juice.
Oh, well.
And
I bet it ain't the Pappy.
And he said, no, not the Pappy. But they're planning a little 8-person get-together there. So if we don't want to break out the Pappy, I can taste the 15. But it could be a good gateway to get to the 15 to have a little 5.
Build up.
At 9:30 this morning. All right, a lot to get to on the show today. Start us off by telling us about great folks at Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys.
Man, we can't thank them enough. So many of you got to meet and talk to Alexander last night and his entire crew. They were there, just a wonderful, wonderful group of people. They are Birmingham people. They came out and celebrated the start of football season with you, and they just want to remind you that they are headquartered in Birmingham for more than 24 years. They've grown to more than 150 lawyers, supported by more than 500 dedicated team members, and they've recovered more than $2 billion, maintaining Alexander's core values of integrity, mastery, passion, and success. When you find yourself in need of a lawyer, call the Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys. You pay nothing unless they win your case. Shannara.com. Shannara.com for Alexander Shannara. He told us after everything was over and we were winding down, we were hanging out with him for a minute, and we won't tell him here. I'll save him for him if he ever wants to tell them. 2 funny stories about his billboards, like calls he personally has gotten that have gotten routed through the,
so good.
Through to him at his office about his billboards. And some of the stuff people will call him about is pretty crazy. I'll just leave it at that.
And our friends at Walk-Ons as well, your place for football and food all year long. The great salads, like I had one last night. The seafood specialties. Brown had a little tacos and wraps that they have there. The big stacked hand-patted burgers, the sandwiches, and all of that, including some cool desserts with a little Cajun flair, all with our friends at Walk-Ons. 3 great locations. The one we were at last night just off Highway 280, also just off Highway 150 and I-459 in Hoover, and the Trustfuls locations. It's our friends at Walk-Ons. It is game day for the Auburn Tigers, 7 o'clock tonight against Baylor. First question to you guys about this game tonight is, Baylor ended the season last year on a 6-game winning streak, but really it was not against the best teams in the Big 12. Then they lose to LSU in the Texas Bowl. Is Baylor really as good as we are making them out to be because of their record last year, or was that a little fool's gold last year? How good is Baylor? Do you put them top tier Big 12? Do you put them middle of the pack Big 12? Where is Baylor in your eyes going into this game tonight?
Well, I do think the Big 12, and we know it's such an unknown, and I think year in, year out, these things will flop around. I mean, you are right. Like, they didn't beat anybody of substance down the stretch. They did win road games, though. They won on the road in Lubbock. They won on the road in Morgantown. They won on the road in Houston. But these aren't great wins. But Sawyer Robertson did play really, really good football down the stretch. I don't know how good they're going to be. After they lost that game to Colorado in overtime, I thought their season was over. But they were able to regroup, get it back on track, and as you said, win 6 consecutive games to end 2024. I mean, this is such a difficult game, and I'm sure you've talked to your Auburn friends, and I don't know if it's reverse jinx, but talking to a lot of Auburn fans out there last night, they believe they're going to lose tonight.
That's interesting. Sawyer Robertson, to his point, second leading returning passer in the Big 12, and as you know, in the
Sam
Big 12. No, actually, Hoover is the first.
Okay,
Josh Hoover at TCU, and Sawyer Robertson. Now, this is in terms of yards per game, so you can look at a lot of different stats. But in yards per game is the second leading returning passer. And that's a pass-happy conference, as you know. So I do think this is a good quarterback. Now, you talked about how he played down the stretch. And he did, in certain aspects, play better in the stretch. Now, that game at Houston was bad for him. He threw 3 interceptions. But outside of that game, at West Virginia, 3 touchdowns, no picks, 329 yards. At home against Kansas, 4 touchdowns, no picks, 74% complete. He was 23 of 31 for 310 yards. Yeah. He plays pretty good football.
But I'll tell you what made him so much better was Bryson Washington. If you look at the games, Sawyer Robertson had big games. Washington had big games rushing. If DJ Durkin just focuses on Bryson Washington and they shut him down, it's going to be a problem for Baylor.
The key for Sawyer in their 6-game win streak, 17 touchdowns, 4 interceptions.
Yeah.
So he changed that during the win streak. Here's why I think Auburn wins the game. 2 reasons. One of them is what Hugh Freeze is talking about here. They've just got a better roster. Here's the Auburn head coach.
I'm full of excitement of this team. I know. I've been around enough to know when you have enough talent to win games, and we do, and we're not going to run from that. We're excited about it, and now we've got to go prove that. And I don't know what the results will be on any given game because, as you know, there's a lot of teams that can beat you on a given night if you don't play very well. So that part with some of new quarterbacks and a lot of young guys on defense and all of that, it's a question mark for you. But I'm excited to go see them play. I know they are. When I walked in the team room to talk about our theme this week, they were excited and ready.
I would tell you that this is the kind of game that if they don't win, it's more on coaching staff to me than some of the others on the SEC schedule. When you start playing like rosters or rosters that are better than yours, which you will face in the SEC. I'm not saying Auburn has the best roster in the SEC, but in this contest tonight, Auburn's got the better players than Baylor does. This is the kind of game Auburn should win. Hugh Freeze should flex his muscle tonight. He's been a punching bag about his golf outings or anything else this offseason, whatever you want to pick a reason to jab Hugh Freeze on this offseason. There's been plenty of that. But tonight, when X's meet O's, this is when Hugh Freeze should shine tonight and have the better roster and win this football game.
Well, I would have said, last year, 2 years ago, not coaching mismatch, but big advantage for Auburn. I think the advantage lies DJ Durkin over Jake Spavital, the offensive coordinator for Baylor. I just trust DJ Durkin more. I'm not saying I like this is a difficult game. I'm probably I like the total a lot in this game. I'm probably going to stay away from the side. I've been back and forth on this game.
And I've noticed that.
Yeah.
I mean, you've had a tough one because we get asked a lot when we're out and about at things like the party last night or Odie's Trivia or, just out at the golf course or whatever. I feel like I have been asked about this game for 3 years now. And and it's only been a couple of months, but boy, people ask me a lot about this game. I just think there are, to Lance's point, I can't remember which of the two of you said it. Are they playing reverse mind tricks here? I just don't think anybody knows what to expect out of this Auburn team. I really don't. I think Auburn fans are cautiously optimistic, but then they feel like I have been burned so much by being cautiously optimistic that I don't even want to do that. So I think there's a little fear in this game. I've had one Auburn fan tell me he thinks it'll be a blowout. And every other Auburn fan, to a man or woman I've talked to, is like, I just do not know.
What is a blowout? Because it's a double-digit win for me.
I asked that question.
Double-digit win at Baylor in Waco.
Yeah. Well, it's 10 or more for me.
I asked that question. He said 10-14. I said, I would agree with you. I consider that a blowout.
Yeah, well, 10-14 is where I have this win tonight for Auburn, and here's why. Auburn will score early.
Oh, so you think it'll be 10-14 as well?
10-14. Okay. Auburn easily covers tonight, in my opinion, because Baylor, for whatever reason, with Dave Aranda, maybe he gambles a little bit more, and maybe he still thinks he has SEC talent as a defensive coordinator, but they give up big, explosive plays. That's been happening to him all last season. It is a problem right now. I don't know if his schemes are too complicated. They don't have the talent to back up those schemes. Whatever it is, they leave themselves open to big, explosive plays. And here comes Eric Singleton from Georgia Tech, who was one of the big explosive play guys. I saw a stat that he was one of the few players in the ACC that had 7 30-plus yard gains last year, big plays last year. Cam Coleman can go over the top. Malcolm Simmons can go over the top. I think Auburn gets some big plays early, and that's where the game is won tonight.
I'm fascinated to see where the confidence of Jackson Arnold is. I think he's going to be good. I think Brown thinks he's not going to be good.
Not going to be good is a bit of an overstatement. I don't think he's going to be. All I've ever said about Jackson Arnold this offseason is everybody flushed his performance at Oklahoma last year because he had a crap offensive line and a bunch of hurt receivers. And both those things were true. He did not have a good offensive line, and a lot of his receivers were hurt. My only point has been a lot of people just assume, you put him behind a good Auburn offensive line, which they'll have, with good Auburn receivers, which they'll have, and it fixes everything. I'm just not willing to believe that. I do think you got to have some confidence rebuilt. You got to have some mechanics rebuilt. Can Hugh Freeze and his staff do that? Yes. Have they? I don't know. I'll believe it when I see it. I am just a little slower to jump on the Jackson Arnold bandwagon, and I may be back in here Monday singing a totally different tune. We'll see how this goes tonight.
Live show Monday, as Brown pointed out there. Auburn Baylor tonight, 7 o'clock Fox. We'll talk about that in the Pick 3 and other times throughout the show, so this isn't the end of our Auburn-Baylor discussion. We'll get to Alabama, Florida State a lot throughout the show too, but we'll get to what we saw last night after we tell you about a couple of our great sponsors, including my friends at mybookie.ag. Hopefully you won last night, like a lot of people did with South Florida. More on that in a second. But also, you can jump in tonight, this weekend, Sunday, Monday games. Still 4 more days of college football. MyBookie.ag ready to go.
Yeah, code next round when you sign on at MyBookie.ag. That code next round is going to give you that bet back bonus, $500, up to $500. You make your first bet with MyBookie.ag, and they will, if you lose, put it right back into your account, up to $500, and you just fire down again. That is your first time there at mybookie.ag. So go register now at mybookie.ag and take advantage of that bet back bonus of up to $500. You can play all these games I'm about to tell you about. Let's hit a few point spreads here real quick. Where we stand on a Friday morning of a Auburn game day. The Tigers, a 2-point favorite tonight on the road at Baylor. Lance mentioned the total. He likes a play there. It's 58.5. Georgia Tech tonight, a 4.5-point favorite on the road at Colorado. 51.5. You're back on camera. You're saying over the 58.5?
I thought he was telling me next spot to do.
I was just asking, is it over? Don't give your free play away.
On camera.
Dunaway's got it dialed in. He's got side and total.
4.5. Georgia Tech is favored. Total of 51.5 in that one. On Saturday, Alabama still holding it a 14-point favorite down in Tallahassee. And the late game is still right now Clemson favored at home 4.5. 4 over the LSU Tigers. MyBookie.ag, code next round. MyBookie.ag, code next round.
And our friends at the Pants Store, game day headquarters, of course, and you don't want to go back to Bryant Denny and Jordan Hare next week and the old stuff. Get your new stuff ready from the Pants Store. They got the Bama and Auburn polos and the hats and the quarter zips and a lot more famous name brands like Horn Legend, Cutter and Buck, Antigua and Gentile. Nothing says War Eagle or Roll Tide like our friends at the Pants Store. And ladies, they're ready to help you out too. The Hokas, the New Balances, the Western boots. They got all the stuff that includes the white sneakers, the platforms, the fall boots. If you need the romper, the perfect dress, they've got that. And they've got free alterations and gift wrapping as well. Zip on down to the Pants Store or order anywhere in the world at pantstore.com. Pantstore.com, your game day headquarters. Last night, I want to talk UAB first, but I'm not. I want to talk about the big game first, Nebraska and Cincinnati, which was really entertaining, but I'm not. I sent Forrester. I think I sent Forrester. Maybe I didn't. I know I posted it on my social media. I just put out I was wrong.
An apology to Ashton Jeanty.
I sent it out on my social media. Hayes Fawcett sent out a tweet that said, "How good was Ashton Jeanty?" And just the score, 31-7 with 4:57 to go in the fourth quarter. And I just put I was wrong. Either it's Ashton Jeanty or it's the quality of opponents Boise State plays. But last night, USF took them to the woodshed, 31 unanswered points.
Yeah, I was really surprised that it was a beatdown like that. You know, Boise State gets up 7-0. And I was like, damn, we're going to have to sweat this. I still think South Florida's got an opportunity to win this game. And then it was flat-out domination, quarters 2 through 4. They couldn't run the football. 38 carries, 122 total yards. Sire Gaines, the guy that I was hyping in the offseason, only had 9 touches for 44 yards. Maddox Madsen was okay. He didn't turn the football over last night, but they couldn't do anything with Byron Brown on the ground. We said yesterday he was going to be a problem for the Boise defense, and he was.
And it just snowballed on them. We were watching their walk-ons, and it was just one snowball after another. And I mean, again, it's pretty simple football. You take the run away, you can make a team left-handed, as the old saying goes, and make them play with their left hand, and Boise could not do that last night.
Well, in Boise, when you're -3 in turnovers against quality opponent on the road, you cannot win.
Yeah.
Yeah. So USF right now, that puts them in the driver's seat for that G5 spot because that's a top 25 upset. That's the way it was played. We built it on the show. Like, could we get an upset? I liked USF to win the game. Picked it in my office pool, agreed with Lance. I think that was a Lance's lock play, right? Was USF in that one, so it was an easy win.
But they got a problem.
They have a big problem. Now,
their next two are a problem, Jim.
Unless they win one of them.
Well, if they win one of them, then they're they've got the inside track to the playoffs.
If they win one and go undefeated the rest of the way, which I just don't think they can. Like, I think they could actually spring one of these upsets.
So for those that don't know, their next 2 games are at Florida and at Miami after that beatdown last night.
But they have such a difficult schedule. And by the way, this was one of the more impossible things to do in college football, along with picking who's going to win the Big 12, is to pick your Group 5 winner.
Yeah, a lot of us went
South
Boise.
Florida doing it last year, and Byron Brown gets hurt in September, and they end up going 7-6. This looks like a team that could do it, but not only do you play at Florida and Miami your next 2 games, you got to go to Memphis and Navy later this season.
Yeah.
So I do not see a path for them. Best case 10-2. Best case.
Can you give me Brooks and Forrester's microphones? You guys help me. One of you take Brown's playoff bracket and the other take Lance's playoff bracket. Whichever one you want Brooks first. Who do they have as their G5 representative? You got Brooks's, Mike? We hadn't used that one in a while.
It's not over yet, by the way.
Maybe unplugged.
Brooks step on the
he's
plug.
talking. Okay, go to Forrester. Forrester, give me either one of them. I don't care. Who's the... Is that Brian? Ryan? Okay.
That is Ryan's. And he's got the Boise State Broncos.
I'm sorry. Was I Jerry Jones there? I called you Brian. Yeah, Ryan. Boise State. Ugh.
Yeah, that's a bad loss for me there, Jim. They're
Okay.
not getting in.
Yeah, that's tough.
What
That's
about
a tough
Lance?
deal.
What about Lance?
Yes.
Okay, for the record, I come in on Wednesday morning, and Dunaway's like, hey, can you put together your 12 team?
I did the same, but
and I was like, hey, I'm just going to plug and play here.
Well,
Listen,
I think I asked one day before, and you said, I can do it today.
Yes. No,
Boise too. Boise.
Yeah.
It's gonna be hard for Boise to get back there, though, right?
they got to beat Notre Dame now, Jim.
I mean,
in South Bend.
Now, the good
It's not
news
impossible,
is
yeah.
you get a full month to get ready for Notre Dame. I feel really, really good. That is the worst we will see Boise all year. I don't think Notre Dame beats them that bad.
Everyone's perception is Ashton Genty saved them a lot. That's the takeaway last night.
I mean, it's believable.
Yeah, that he saved them a lot.
Yeah.
They play in a different kind of league. The American may be tougher. I don't know. Mount West is pretty darn good football. I think the Sun Belt's good as well.
I think they probably win that game last night with Genty.
Do you have mine? I didn't go Boise State, obviously, or I wouldn't be bringing this up. I got a little Memphis.
You do, and they play.
And they get USF.
They
at
play
home there,
USF.
so Memphis was my team right there. I may have a problem with Auburn after tonight, but with my playoff.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, let's go to the big game before we end the opening segment with UAB. Pick 3 coming up. Extended opening segment as we always do on a Friday after the first Thursday night, because it is nothing more American than Week 1 overreactions. Nebraska, they had well more than 50% of the snaps in Cincinnati territory last night. They played the game in Cincinnati territory and just could not get touchdowns. And they got stalled. It reminded me, not with the hype or really with the score, but do you remember the game of the century in 2011, Alabama and LSU? And for the majority part of that game, Alabama played from the midfield to LSU's 30-yard line. I don't know how many plays in that game Alabama ran from the 50 to the 35 on LSU side of the field, and they never could they never got to the end zone. They couldn't get closer for automatic field goal range. And Nebraska was, for most part of that game, offensively was so much better than Cincinnati, but they let them hang around, which has been a problem at Nebraska, to where that pass at the end was going to beat them in another one-score game, which has been Matt Rule's time at Nebraska in a nutshell.
And Scott Frost before him, yeah.
And this one would have been a killer. I mean, when you actually – my train of thought, I just lost it there. When you're +2 in turnovers and you completely dominate, they ran 77 of 54 plays. They almost had double up on time of possession.
39-30 to 20-30, Lance. They had almost 20 minutes more time of possession.
So you're telling me they ran 54 of their 77 plays in Cincinnati territory?
Yeah, they ran.
That's insanity.
I think it was 25 more plays than Cincinnati ran. Yeah. Ran almost all their plays in Cincinnati territory. Had the ball 19 minutes more than Cincinnati.
I think this
and
is?
We're +2 in turnovers. They won by 3.
It was our first upset pick of the year. Upset alert. I had Cincinnati.
That's right. You got 5 points out of that.
Oh, wow.
I did, yeah.
But I mean,
so did Forster, yeah.
Yeah, how about that? That way, Scott. Last year's winner out early.
Good start. Good start.
Yeah,
Just five, though. You didn't get the outright win. Hey, but did anybody have a problem with Satterfield calling that deep pass at the end?
Holgerson. Wait a minute. Oh, no, Scott Satterfield. I'm sorry. Yeah.
The Cincinnati head coach. I didn't have a problem with that because I admire coaches because we go back to Ryan Day, Georgia in the playoffs, where Ryan Day was aggressive, and then put it on his field goal to beat Georgia in the semifinals that year. I love a coach who says, listen, my kicker is not an automatic for us to go to, and then it's just to overtime.
And you've done nothing all night offensively.
And Nebraska probably was sitting there going, they're playing for this field goal, and he tries to throw one over the top right there.
Yeah, I wanted it because I had Cincy plus 6.5.
Yeah.
I did not want that thing going overtime.
That's right. But to win the game and not put it on your kicker, I sort of admire coaches to do that. And it was a great time to call that. And it was 1-on-1 with the kid that just got the pass interference. So you thought maybe he wouldn't be as good in coverage. Yeah. That kid made a heck of an interception.
He did.
And walks it off for Nebraska there. And I don't know how entertaining the entertaining meter was the game.
It was pretty slow.
Well, if you had money on it, I think you were entertained because it was in doubt the entire game. Sorsby just I don't know. He's very athletic, but man, he was inaccurate last night.
Yeah, so it was just a good win. Hey, here, give me cut 7, Matt Rule, because this was a factor. The game was at Arrowhead last night.
May as well have been in Lincoln.
And my goodness, they sell out Lincoln, and some people say it's fake. It's a fake streak because some people, if they're 1,000 or 2,000 tickets short of a sellout, some big businessman buys them.
But I heard them last night on the broadcast. I think it's 4 hours south.
I think they said 3.
Is it 3?
Yeah, I think they said 3 from Lincoln.
It was a pretty makeable drive.
Yeah, it's not that hard to drive.
Like going to Atlanta or maybe to Nashville or whatever for a game, or Knoxville, whatever. But Matt Rule talked about it, and there were some false start penalties on Cincinnati, and it was Cincinnati's home game technically. They moved it from Money to Arrowhead. Matt Rule talked about the impact of Big Red Nation.
Yeah, I thought it was amazing. Absolutely amazing. I think they said something like 92 to 95% of the tickets sold were through us. I just think that speaks to what we have here. And, especially a tight ball game like this where the crowd is so energized, so alive. We're on the road and I'm having to wear a double thing. Which is great, and you saw the impact of that, some false starts by them in crucial times. Unfortunately, the last one, they made a play on 4th down to get it, but they had some crucial false starts, which you have to attribute directly to our fans. And, obviously we'd love to win the game by more. We'd like to have taken the lead, but I thought that was an exciting way, and to see our guys make plays down the stretch. I hope the fans enjoyed that part of it, and it was certainly fun to see them celebrate at the end.
I'm not surprised with the crowd breakdown. Like, hear me out. Power 4 teams, does Cincinnati have probably one of the smallest fan bases? Like Vanderbilt, the fans that are attacking you, Boston College maybe, but Cincinnati's got to be
Northwestern, Vandy.
I was surprised by how many people.
Boston College.
I was surprised.
You remember Cincinnati played in a Birmingham Bowl multiple times. I don't remember seeing Cincinnati people.
I was surprised by how many people they brought to Dallas when they played Alabama in the semifinals.
Yeah. Okay, I wasn't there for that.
No, that was very surprising. But that was the biggest game in their program's history. So, if you're going to bring a bunch of fans, it's going to be for that one. Both the Kelseys were there, by the way.
Yeah, both of the Kelseys. And
you'd have loved
Travis was there last night with Taylor.
Yeah, she was there.
So they probably had 5 million more fans last night cheering for them from abroad. Anyway, so Nebraska wins. Good for them. Good for our friends who actually have next round gear in Lincoln. And then in the opening segment here, we got to get to UAB here locally. If you're watching us nationally right now, UAB is just down the street from us. Trent Dilfer, Super Bowl winning quarterback, is their head coach. They opened on a Thursday night with a SWAC team, Alabama State, which is just to the south of us here in Montgomery, Alabama. So 2 virtually local teams here. And UAB gets a good crowd when they play either Alabama State or Alabama A&M to open the season on a Thursday night. The SWAC programs in our state travel really well, so it's a good money game for UAB. And usually it's a pretty easy win. Alabama State not picked to win the SWAC. Their projection middle of the road in the SWAC. And in all of the football conferences, the SWAC, the MEAC, and the Ivy League are at the bottom.
Yeah.
This UAB defense is going to be terrible.
UAB had to score late to secure the game. It's 45-42 on that final drive for UAB. And they were working the clock and trying to get one more score, which they did, to to win the football game. 45-42 against Alabama State in the opener. Wow.
Listen to this. So Alabama State, 13 of 15 on third downs.
Lance,
Say that again.
I had to look twice. I mean, I watched more of that game than I should have. And I kept seeing, I think they were 9 of 10 in the first half.
Did they leave the yardsticks at home at Protective Stadium? They lost them.
13 of
The Stallions
50.
packed them up.
I
they
mean,
didn't have any to know where the yard line
I don't know. I've never heard
Literally
of that.
cannot get the team off the field. You know, there was a little excitement buzzing at the kickoff party last night because people were like, damn, UAB's down in the second half.
Down at the half, then down in the second half.
Yeah. And they gave up 514 total yards. Alabama State was -1 in turnovers and still had every opportunity to win this game. I just don't know. If you can't stop Alabama State at home, who are they going to be able to stop in the American?
If that is UAB's defense. Now, I think their defensive coordinator, who is new this year, said they're a little bit banged up. But if that's their defense, that was their win last night. If that's their defense this year.
They might beat Akron.
Oh, I don't think there's any way they beat Akron with that defense.
Akron's not. They're bottom of the MAC. And the MAC is,
Jim,
they're bottom.
The MAC is FBS.
Okay. I am just kicking myself in the ass. I guess you might still be able to get this, but their win total was 4.5.
Oh, Tim Melton, who used to work with us up here, has put down hard-earned money on that under several different times.
He's going to cash.
Like anytime he got a little extra money, he would go back to the window and put more money on UAB under the 4.5. And it's looks like
to get everybody in the office to pull their money together for
I wish we had listened. I wish we had listened.
Yeah. I wish I'd heard him say that.
And how many times can you say that when they're 1-0 and now they only need 4 wins?
But
I actually texted him last night. I said, "You were right. I have regrets."
Yeah, I do too. I have major regrets. We could have paid off a house.
But at least
he's
Trent,
Rain Man.
At least Trent Dilfer afterwards made you feel really good about where UAB is going to go, how you improve after win 1, right?
It's good to get a win. Any win is a great win. As I told the team, we did it. I don't want this thing to become, anything else than we. Defense came out in the second half, responded really well, got some stops, able to get the offense back on the field. We were able to finish off drives, which was super important. We didn't finish them off in the first half. But most importantly, I just think, our season will be defined by how we respond to bad things. Bad things are going to happen, a lot of them. I mean, it's just inevitable, and we got to handle them well. We got to handle whatever comes our way in a manner which is classy, which is together, and moving forward, and can't dwell on the bad things that happen in games. So we're not going to be perfect, be far from it, but we'll get better and better each week, and I'm proud we were able to get this one.
Yeah, well, this guy is in year 3, and this program's done nothing but get worse since he's been there. I mean, they were the best when he first got here, and this program's been on a steady decline, and there is no indication it's getting any better.
I mean, seriously, not his high school coaching, because I think he, they dominated at times there.
They did.
But going back to other levels of football, do you think he's ever seen a team that converted 13 of 15?
Probably no.
How about converting 13 of 15 and losing the game, going over 500 yards?
Yeah, I mean, they play Tennessee later this year. If Tennessee had converted 13 of 15, it would have still seemed crazy.
It sure would have. Right.
But for
13 and 15 against Air seems crazy.
For Alabama State to do it on your home field boggles the mind.
Yeah.
I cannot comprehend what I saw last night.
All right, way behind on breaks. Furman's going to be with us. Go ahead and tell him 10:05 at the earliest on Furman. We had to break here. Bojangles brings you part of the show. By the way, as he tells us about Bojangles, the Big Ten was in those MAC games I said watch last night. They struggled in their games as well. Bojangles, no struggle there, Brownie. Good stuff.
It is really good stuff, Jimmy D. It can be bow time for you. You're getting ready for a high school football tailgate tonight. You're getting ready for the college football parties over the weekends. Bojangles can do that for you with those great hand-breaded tenders and those great sauces that go with them. Everything from the honey mustard to the barbecue to the creamy buffalo peach honey pepper, which is fantastic, by the way. The house-made ranch jalapeno ranch or classic bow sauce go great with those hand-breaded tenders. And don't forget, start your mornings with that pork chop grilled biscuit. It is back at Bojangles for a limited time. So get to the nearest Bojangles for those hand-breaded tenders or that pork chop grilled biscuit. It's bow time.
Take the next round anywhere you go with official Next Round gear. Buy yours today at nextround.store.
Have you been injured in an 18-wheeler accident, company truck accident, car accident, or work-related accident? Call Alabama's largest personal injury firm. Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys will fight for every dollar you deserve, and it won't cost you a dime. Trust me. What do you say, man?
Call me, Alabama.
Call 659-777-7777 or go to Shinara.com.
No representation made that the legal services provided are better than legal services provided by other attorneys.
Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on the Next Round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at the Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000.
This hour of the Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
Sterling and the fine folks at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster want to welcome you in for a great lunch or dinner starting at 11 a.m. every day. Chicken that's brined overnight and cooked to order, and the taste of the Delta with those Delta recipe tamales. Champy's is perfect for all your tailgating needs this football season. You can also choose Champy's for your next party, wedding, or birthday. Great food, great people. Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster, and everything online at champyschicken.com.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
Looking to expand your business? Let the Next Round help you. Contact us, sales@nextroundlive.com, and be part of the team. Advertise your product to hundreds of thousands of potential customers on our ever-expanding platforms. The Next Round can take your business to the next level. Join our existing partners in the fastest-growing media space, both live and on demand, while reaching the most desirable audience for your business. Get more information by emailing sales@nextroundlive.com, and one of our team members will work with you to build a plan to take your business to the next level using the Next Round.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Get all your favorite Next Round gear all in one place, nextround.store. From our Next Round hats to the logo tees to the all-time best-selling Y'all Can Have the Rest shirt, you can look your best by shopping with us at nextround.store. Take the Next Round anywhere with nextround.store.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between two warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
Back with you on the Next Round as we roll on here. Show being brought to you by our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Boy, I was thankful for them this week, and you will be too once you sign up and let them monitor you as you move from your 20s to your 30s, 30s to 40s. They stay on top of your health and baselines, things from prostate health to kidney stones and everything in between. They've got 16 locations, so convenient to you here in Alabama. Find the one near you and make an appointment, 205-930-0920 or urologycentersalabama.com. And also, for over 70 years, UCA has been providing state-of-the-art patient-centered urological care with integrity and compassion. That's why I use Urology Centers of Alabama. You should too. UrologyCentersAlabama.com. You ready?
Pick three, it's time for the pick three. 3 for you and 3 for me, that equals a pick three. Say goodbye to your family, it's time for the pick three. Only time that I'm happy is when it's time for pick three.
Hey, and big news, football is back, and Buffalo Wild Wings not only with us on the pick three, they've got their pick six. How about this? From $19.99 at Buffalo Wild Wings. This is the ultimate meal for two, with 2 entrees, 2 sides, 2 drinks. Pick between boneless wings and any of their 26 sauces and seasonings, spicy sauced or grilled crispy chicken dippers, and hand-smashed double-stacked all-American cheeseburgers with sides of fries, tots, potato wedges. Pick 6 meal for 2 for pickup. For a limited time only, pricing may vary by region, but get into one of those great locations throughout Birmingham of Buffalo Wild Wings and get their pick 6.
Looking at that graphic right there, B-Dub's the best green and gold in our state right now.
Did we hear this?
Happy time?
Yes. I would love to sample that. What a way to kick off the pick 3.
Yeah. Brownie, you down?
Maybe not immediately. I would like to sample at some point, though.
Anybody in the back room?
946 feels a bit aggressive.
You want one?
Palate.
Yeah, I'll take one.
That's my boy.
See, I don't even know you sometimes.
I love Tyler.
I picture you as this Kool-Aid drinking guy.
No, I was kidding about the Death Valley, and I look over and I was like, Tyler, is that what you've got? He goes, oh, yeah, this thing's good.
And listen, we're going to do the pick 3 the same as we did last year. It's online for you all the way up to the kickoff of the 11 o'clock game tomorrow. So you can't play Friday games, but you can play Saturday, Sunday, Monday games this week. It's right there at nextroundlive.com, nextroundlive.com. Go and play. We think we have the phone systems worked out. If you want to call and give us your pick 3 a couple of times during the show, this would be one of them. 205-734-0923. It's always on your screen, but if you're listening audio-wise, 205-734-0923. You can call and give us your pick 3 each week if you want to. But online, you need to do it there. God, I may have just messed up. If they call them in, will somebody enter them?
We'll figure it out.
Okay, if you call them in, because the official entry is at nextroundlive.com, nextroundlive.com.
Yeah, we'll figure
it
out.
But if you call them in,
but Tyler can get their information. We'll write them down, and then we can plug it in.
Okay, we'll plug it in for you.
All right, cheers, by the way.
Yeah. Okay,
your first, Pappy?
Okay.
You're supposed to smell it with your mouth open. I learned that from Suttles. Right, Lance? Isn't that what he says?
Does he?
You do the show with it.
I want this to be so good. I've heard so much about this.
Nobody gets disappointed by more than you. So you're going to be so disappointed in this.
I got to cleanse one more time.
Jim's going to say, who was this Pappy guy?
I mean, it is good bourbon.
What is this? That's
a 10.
10-year?
Yeah. That's what his buddy was supposed to win.
Oh, I know.
We amped it up.
Well, it is really good.
Yeah.
Okay. So this you wouldn't mix. Like you would never mix with that. That's you've got to drink that.
You know, we had Benchmark earlier this week on Bama and Bourbon, and it's a good $15 to $20 bottle of bourbon, and it's perfect to mix.
What is that finishing taste?
It's a little taste of caramel. I'm gonna act like the guy that brings it up for the tasting.
No, does it have a little it's either a fruity or nutty aftertaste there.
It's got a little bit of both. Good coloration right there.
That's right.
Wow, that is pretty good.
Oh, look at Jimmy D.
I think
what do you think, Tyler?
It's smoother than I thought it would be.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you can get this bottle for like $600 at certain places.
It smells good.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I know that's not like a cheap bottle.
But Alexander Shonara and the fine folks at
Sammer actually delivered this one up here, and me and Suttles actually previewed this bottle months and months ago on Bama and Bourbon. So,
does Bo have Sammer's number?
Yes,
I've got it.
We all got Sammer's number.
Well, would somebody text him that now I've sampled it? He doesn't
Don't
have
bring
to
a bottle.
me a specific
I will text
bottle.
him right now. Yeah,
because I was writing him hard last night that I've yet to taste one of these, and my buddy who won last night, he's telling me I'm not going to get to taste that one either. So between LT and my buddy, I was like, Everybody's getting these bottles around me.
Well,
and I'm
your
a bit tasty
buddy,
of them.
will he actually?
Will he open it?
Yeah, will he open it?
That's up for debate right now.
Because one of the things, like I just like drinking the bourbon.
Some people collect them though, right?
But I have had an incredible collection. I probably have 40 different varieties of bourbon at my house right now. But I would like to do, and Suttles has done this, where you actually have,
display?
Yeah, you build out the display however you want, and I think it would be really cool. But probably not as cool if you have empty bottles.
Yeah.
But I like drinking mine.
That was a good bottle of Pappy.
Yeah. Well, maybe you can.
I mean, this looks cooler on your display when it's full, right?
I agree, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. And we're also going to do the pick three differently because Brooks and Forrester are going to give us pick threes later in the show as well. So I'm going to give you mine now. Brown will give you, or LT will give you one in the 10 o'clock hour. 10:30, the other one will give him, and Brooks and Forrester will end it later in the show. That we'll spread them all the way out so we don't jam them in at the end. So here's my pick three if you're familiar. Now, we can play Friday games, so you can only play Saturday games there for you at nextroundlive.com, thanks to our friends at Buffalo Wild Wings. But here are the three I'm going to play. Two of them I played in our MyBookie football picks show, which is available on our platforms. You can go watch that all the way up to kickoff. That doesn't age, so anytime you want to go just watch a gambling show, MyBookie football picks right there on our YouTube channel, and also podcast at Apple and Spotify. Here are my three plays this week officially in our pick three. I'm going to take the Auburn Tigers tonight, -2.5. It's -2 at MyBookie, but we
bumped to the half.
Everything's a half.
No pushes.
Georgia Tech -4.5. I'm going to ride with Georgia Tech tonight. Just a gritty team. More on them in a second. And then I'm going to go on Sunday night. I'm going to take Miami plus the 2.5. So Auburn, Georgia Tech, and Miami, all not easy logos for me to draw for some reason. I was better with the Rocket earlier this week. But those are my three picks this week for the pick three. You guys send yours in and go play right now at nextroundlive.com. Part of the pick three, we talk about all these games. And as we do that, we jump into our friends at Hemphill who bring you lanceslock.com. He's got a football package ready for you right now at lanceslock.com.
Hey, another 4-1 night last night. We are now 5-2 early in the college football season. We've got more plays up and available now at lanceslock.com. Free plays. We have been killing it. 15-3-1 your last 19 free plays. Jump on board. We head into season number 12. Our first 11 seasons, 9 winning seasons, only 2 losing seasons. We're crushing it right now in Major League Baseball, also in college football. Jump on board, lanceslog.com. Always brought to you by our friends at Hemphill Services. Whether you experience any plumbing, heating, or cooling issues in your home or business, they are ready to serve you. 205-229-2090. Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys there. Hard to stop a train. For more information, hemphillservices.com.
Talked a lot about Auburn, Baylor, 7 o'clock Fox. First meeting since 1976 from those two teams in the first segment. Other game tonight, Georgia Tech and Colorado. Georgia Tech, for me, just a gritty mindset under Brent Key. I think that's what helps them win the game on the road tonight. They are just built for a situation like this, in my opinion.
This has become a decent home field advantage for Deion. I mean, Colorado students and Colorado fans have bought into this program, and you've got a veteran quarterback in Caden Salter that will start, the transfer from Liberty. I am fascinated to see what Colorado looks like, and I'm not going to doubt Deion anymore. Doubted him last year. I think Forrester was there with me. We thought that they would win 2 or 3 games. They won 9 games last year.
2-10 was my prediction.
Nailed
it.
Yeah,
got that one.
I am blown away the success he's had, so I'm not going to doubt. I think he will have a quality product on the field. I do think Georgia Tech is a better roster. Haynes King can be an elite quarterback. I just wonder if Georgia Tech can handle the hype. There is a lot of hype surrounding this team right now.
I will say this about Keenan Salter. He's not had a 300-yard pass game since 2003. He did not have one all of last year. He has not had a 200-yard pass game since October of last year. So this is a guy that finished the season not throwing the ball very well for Liberty. And that worries me a little bit.
You know what worries me, Brown?
What's that, Jim?
It's not just Caden Salter, but it's the promise, if any was made, from Deion Sanders to Julian Lewis. They keep saying he's going to get snaps tonight. So what does that look like? Is it
that's their future. I mean,
is that Caden Salter for 2 series and then Julian Lewis? Is it a package? Is it a drive? Is it designated drives? That can get very confusing.
I think, and you guys help me out, when's the last time we saw a Power 4 program that alternated quarterbacks?
In a good way.
Successfully?
Yeah. I mean, I know Washington did it when they won a national championship with Mark Brunell and Billy Joe Hobart.
Florida did it with Chris Leak and Tim Tebow, and that was pretty successful.
But it's got to be a national championship.
Yeah.
But you're going to see.
But I mean, it doesn't happen very often.
You're going to see Juju more than you saw Tim Tebow.
Yeah, Tim Tebow had a package.
He did.
It wasn't like this guy's going to do
They didn't bring him in to play the
other
offense.
guy's going to do a
No,
drive.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Like the way this is being discussed tonight, Julian Lewis will come in whether the ball's in the red zone or on his own 20, and he'll do that drive.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised. Like I don't know what they're paying Caden Salter, probably $750,000 to $1 million. But I wouldn't be surprised if the true freshman plays extremely well if he ultimately gets his job.
Yeah. More on Alabama, Florida State coming up with Fuhrman in just a second. But I do want to touch on it right here in our Pick 3 segment because a lot of you will play Alabama, Florida State. Weather aside, which injury impacts the game more? Tim Keenan or Jam Miller, the defensive lineman or the running back?
I think it's Tim Keenan. Tim Keenan's an NFL level, maybe first-round pick level defensive lineman.
I'm Jam Miller.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, because I understand Keenan, I believe, is the better NFL player, but you rotate defensive linemen. I feel like James Smith and some of the other guys can plug that hole, not to Tim Keenan's level, but Jam Miller's protection, pass pro, and being back there with a first-time starter on the road, I think that's a bigger impact in the game than Keenan.
Well, and also Jam Miller's ability to hold on to the football. I mean, if we do have wet conditions, and this is, if you're looking for a path to victory for Florida State, it is +2-3 in turnovers.
It's literally a perfect storm.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, it's what you need. And we talked about how bad weather, it benefits the lesser roster, and that's what you've got right now with Florida State. I don't think either in this game, but I would kind of lean with Dunaway because if you have some breakdowns in pass pro, if you lay it on the ground a couple of times, and again, that's why I think you will see Dre Washington play because he is a veteran presence.
Yeah, his experience is what has made you think he will be the guy. I was asked.
If I'm playing a DraftKings guy, I probably play Richard Young for the big plays. But I do think that these carries are going to be shared early.
I was asked by Alexander Shannara last night. We were talking, and he's like, who do you think is the running back for Alabama in this game? I said, I think most of the carries will go to Richard Young. I said, but I don't know that anybody outside that coaching staff really even knows right now.
I'll tell you what's going to be scary. If Richard Young lays it on the ground early.
Oh, yeah. Then you start to get thin at guys you could trust out there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a 2:30 ABC tomorrow, approaching 24 hours to kick. Travel day for Alabama as they head down to Tallahassee for that one. And more on that game coming up with Fuhrman in a second and throughout the show. Syracuse, Tennessee, early tomorrow in Atlanta, the start of Joey Aguilar. Do you think Josh Heupel coaches around his quarterback? Or does he try to coach him just like he would have if it was Nico Iamaleava?
No, I think Aguilar's got enough experience. I mean, your fear for Heupel and for Tennessee is Aguilar's, he turns the football over way too much, or at least at Appalachian State. But I think you sling it all over the place against Syracuse because I think the roster is that much better than Syracuse.
And Syracuse, they were built on offense last year. This was not a team that was a quality defensive squad. So there should be some passing yardage there. I think it's very alarming if you don't have some fluidity in offense against Syracuse, you're going to see a lot better defenses than what they bring to this game.
Yeah, and how about this? 37-5 under Heupel when they score 20 plus, 0-9 when they score less than 20.
Wow.
So keep up with that for whatever it's worth.
That's a trend in our angle.
Yeah. 0-9 when they score less than 20. So if Fran Brown can stick that number.
Yeah, I mean, if somehow Syracuse defense shows up, which it didn't a lot last year, but Heupel 9-0 against the number.
Isn't Fran a defensive guy? I mean, he's a great recruiter, but is he defensive background?
I think he was defensive backs coach at Georgia.
9-0 against spread regular season non-conference games since 2022. So Heupel's been really good in this spot.
My fear with this game is...
I would lean Tennessee. I don't love it, though.
My fear with this, I've seen Tennessee in these early ACC matchups, mid-tier ACC teams struggle with Pitt those 2 years. So we'll see what Syracuse brings.
But an ACC team has never beaten an SEC team in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium for whatever that's worth. 0-6, 5 of those 6 losses by 17 or more.
He was DB's coach at Georgia. That said, his defense was 14th out of 17 in the ACC last year in scoring defense. So they did not play very good defense.
All right, we'll see what Syracuse and Tennessee looks like. All the other games with Fuhrman and everything in the next 2 hours of our show that's being brought to you in part by our friends at Michelson Laser Vision. Our great friends at Michelson bring you the viewing menu every day. Tyler, I don't know if you have anything. We'll be quick on the viewing menu here, but tell us about our friends at Michelson.
To view life in 4K, make the phone call that I made back in 2003, 205-969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, best in the business. For more information, michelsonlaservision.com.
Got a new Netflix documentary called Unknown Number, The High School Catfish. A teen girl and her boyfriend face persistent harassment from an unknown caller. Police investigating the months of torment discover a revelation that upends their initial assumptions. The story behind this is absolutely insane. So unfortunately, I won't be watching this documentary because I already know the twist, but I strongly recommend that everybody check it out. It's
interesting.
Nuts. And we've got a new
movie. By the way, the catfishing thing's a lot of effort on the catfishing
really
part.
Is. For what? Yeah.
And then we've also got a new movie called The Roses, a tinderbox of competition and resentments underneath the facade of a picture-perfect couple is ignited when the husband's professional dreams come crashing down. And it stars Benedict Cumberbatch, Olivia Colman, Kate McKinnon, and Andy Samberg.
And this is a remake. I don't know if you ever saw War of the Roses with Michael Douglas and Kathleen Turner. I thought it was, and Danny DeVito.
Fantastic.
Hilarious.
Yep.
And this just shows you the thin line between love and hate.
Yeah.
Yep,
Fantastic.
That's, it looks like it's going to be really faithful to that adaptation of the story. And then finally on viewing menu tonight, I will be seeing Jaws since I was unable to see it yesterday.
All right. Good luck with that. And Auburn hopes nothing scary in the water in Waco tonight, 7 o'clock on Fox. If you want to watch that one, Auburn Baylor. By the way, the Fox YouTube TV completely worked out, long-term deal settled. So you Auburn fans and football fans for the weekend, totally okay. Todd Fuhrman coming up on the other side. Show being brought to you by our friends at A+ Brownie. Take us a break.
That is our guy Brad Bell. Was talking to him last night at the kickoff party and all the great work he is doing throughout Birmingham and the Central Alabama area. Thanks to all of you. It all started right there in the master bath at the Brown House when my wife Jennifer scoured the internet looking for the person we wanted to redo our master bath. She talked to a number of contractors, people that had used contractors, read a ton of reviews. She picked Brad Bell, and I'm glad she did. He did tremendous work, and he has done so much good work for all of you, and that can continue. If you want to see more, Scott shows you all the time the before and afters of my bathroom. You can see more at alabamabathremodels.com. That is alabamabathremodels.com. Brad specializes in master bath, kitchen, and master bedroom closets. Not to say that's all he does, but it is certainly a specialty because that's where you're going to get your money back when you go to sell your home. You're going to enjoy those rooms when you own your home. Get my guy Brad Bell to do the work. alabamabathremodels.com. That is alabamabathremodels.com. Fuhrman gives us the point spreads next.
Follow Scott Forrester on Twitter at Scott Forrester TV.
Have you been injured in an 18-wheeler accident, company truck accident, car accident, or work-related accident? Call Alabama's largest personal injury firm. Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys will fight for every dollar you deserve, and it won't cost you a dime. Trust me. What do you say, man?
Call me, Alabama.
Call 659-777-7777 or go to Shinara.com.
No representation made that the legal services provided are better than legal services provided by other attorneys.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today. Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order.
All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-patted each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
When you crave activity like we do, you belong in the Roback family. Get the best golf wear, hoodies, and activewear for men and women at Roback.com. Use promo code TNR20 to get 20% off your order. That's Roback.com, promo code TNR20.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the next round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 2200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation. 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them the next round sent you. 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from the next round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
Catch up on all of today's Next Round on demand through the podcast platform of your choice. Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcasts. Wherever you listen, always like, follow, subscribe, and turn on automatic downloads so you never miss any part of the Next Round.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between 2 warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Let's get to our conversation with Todd Fuhrman and the impact first, before we talk college football with him, of the Micah Parsons trade, which is huge. After LT tells us about Twin Peaks, where if you are drinking chilled beer at Twin Peaks in Green Bay, you're very happy today.
Oh, yes. Fantasy season is here. Twin Peaks, place to draft like a pro. From now through September 4th, reserve your fantasy football draft party at participating Twin Peaks locations and score big. Here's what you're going to get. Draft kit loaded with everything you need. $50 kickback card for the commissioner. $5 kickback cards for every league guest. Don't settle for basic. Draft at the lodge. Book now. TwinPeaksRestaurant.com/fantasy draft. That is TwinPeaksRestaurant.com/fantasy draft.
All right, he is CBS Sports HQ, former odds maker at Caesars Palace. He is our guy, Todd Fuhrman, at Todd Fuhrman on social media. It is always fun talking with him, but especially when we get football games that are being played. Fuhrman, welcome in. Happy week 1. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing well, gentlemen. Always a pleasure. And while I never like to root for people to lose their jobs, I really anticipated this morning we were going to lead with UAB relieving Trent Dilfer of his duties as head coach, had they lost last night as a 3-touchdown favorite to an in-state, we'll call it a rival, I guess, in Alabama State.
Good thing is Protective Stadium is about a mile and a half from Birmingham Airport. So it wouldn't have been that awkward if Mark Ingram, the AD, had said, hey, we need to ride out to the tarmac real quick.
Just so I can fire you there.
We did have this discussion last night, Fuhrman. I really do. I mean, what do you guys think would have happened if they would have lost the game outright? Does he get fired?
Unfortunately, I mean, you probably had to fire Mark, too. So somebody was going to have to step in and clean out the top end of the house pretty quickly.
Give him an Uber XL to the airport?
Uber XL. But I do think it was on the table. And Fuhrman, we were actually discussing this. I think the UAB win total was at 4.5. which feels like absolute free money right now. Can you still get it at 4.5 at Vegas, or did it adjust that quickly?
It's always interesting because we've seen over the years books getting more aggressive in terms of reposting win totals after a team starts to play their early season schedule. So we'll see if that number does come back up. I can't imagine that you're going to see odds makers really adjust it because you kind of penciled in Alabama State as a win. But I don't anticipate that anybody really believed they were going to give up 42 points in the process. But I guess if you're going glass half full for the Blazers, a 52-point offensive outburst maybe can carry some of that momentum forward when they truly step up in class against Navy. The challenge, though, as you look at UAB's schedule, that game against Akron on Saturday, September 13, might be a friends and family only affair, given what we saw from the Zips after they put up that goose egg against that vaunted Wyoming Cowboys defense yesterday at home.
Fuhrman, before we get to tonight's slate and Auburn Baylor, everybody wants to talk about that. Let's go back to last night. Not to pat myself on the back, my big play was South Florida. I said it on the air yesterday. I think they were going to win the game outright. I had no idea they would absolutely crush Boise like that. Do you think Boise's able to rebound? Obviously, they don't have an Ashton Genty, but look, they had a lot of great seasons without an Ashton Genty in the past.
Yeah, I think Boise will be just fine, and I think it's as much a reflection of where the Mountain West Conference is at large when you consider that UNLV, who at least on paper appeared to be their closest competition, gave up 500-plus yards to Idaho State and damn near lost as a 31-point favorite in their opener last weekend. It's just a league, in my opinion, that I think has a lot of also-rans right now. Now, given what we saw from Boise State last night, do I think they can get themselves back in the mix for that G5 bid into the college football playoff? They're going to have to play significantly better and come up, with either an outright upset or a narrow defeat against Notre Dame and run the table in their remaining games. But this was also a South Florida team that professional bettors were high on. They took money to win the AAC this summer at a price tag right around 8.5, 9-1. We saw them actually take money over their win total as well. And the only real deterrent for folks making a case against USF was how daunting the opening 3 weeks of their schedule looked on paper. Suddenly, they've claimed one big scalp at Boise, where they went from a 10-point dog, closed as short as a 4.5, 5-point underdog. And we'll see how much more dynamic this offense looks as Byron Brown continues to get better. But interesting game on a variety of fronts. I mean, fumble luck goes the way of the Bulls in the first half. And then it felt like the play that really broke the Broncos' spirit was that punt fake where everyone on that coaching staff didn't realize that the backup quarterback was the one in there taking the snap. And from that point forward, you saw South Florida really roll in the heat and humidity in the second half.
Auburn Baylor, 7 o'clock tonight on Maine Fox. First meeting since 1976. Listen, I don't know if the Auburn band has made the trip to Waco or not, but Baylor's defense in the past has been pretty good for opposing bands. They strike them up with easy, explosive touchdowns. Do you see Auburn hitting a lot of big plays in this game tonight?
The biggest question that I have in this game is going to be along the offensive line. That was expected to be the strength for the Tigers coming into this season. When you return 4 or 5 starters, you bring in a couple of power forward transfers to really solidify that group. And you guys, I know, are much closer to the Plains than I am. It seems to have been a little bit of a problem throughout camp so far. And can they rectify that against the Baylor defense? That, to your point, Dunaway, leaves a lot to be desired. Just ask a lot of the Big 12 teams that they played down the stretch last year and the LSU Tigers, who dismantled them in their bowl game. You can maybe take the glass half full approach that Auburn's defensive line could be trending up, and maybe that's what's contributed to some of the problems. But if Auburn can win the battle in the trenches, despite having a little bit of a deficiency at quarterback, if we're going Jackson Arnold versus Sawyer Robertson, I think Auburn can get a big win. I know there's been money coming in against the side that I took in this game. Actually bet a little bit of Auburn on a cheap money line a couple of weeks ago, and I haven't really wavered from my position just yet. Should be a fun game there. I know people that were looking to try and back Baylor would have really liked a 3. That number hasn't surfaced. But a little bit of exposure for me with the road favorite here and the Auburn Tigers.
Todd Fuhrman, CBS Sports, at Todd Fuhrman on social media. He's with us on the Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys Hotline. We were just discussing Georgia Tech and Colorado. Right now at mybookie.ag, Colorado a 4-point underdog at home as Georgia Tech, as the Ramblin' Wreck comes calling. What do you Vegas boys think the quarterback breakdown will look like? That's what we were just discussing. Juju Lewis, the very talented freshman. How much of him do you think you will see as opposed to Caden Salter for the Buffaloes?
My feeling is Caden Salter is going to get the lion's share of the snaps. The recruitment of Juju Lewis was awfully interesting because he decommits from USC, and then suddenly he decides to reclassify, and you begin to wonder if he really was a true 5-star type recruit when all of these dominoes started to fall. Now, if you look at Caden Salter's tape from last year, Liberty, it left a lot to be desired. A team, not just him, but everyone else on that Flames team that looked to be checked out for long stretches last season. Go back a couple of years, though, and you see what Salter can do as kind of a dual threat, which makes it fascinating in a matchup like this because Georgia Tech has to deal with a dual threat quarterback every day in practice in Haynes King. I know people have really been quick to sell Colorado stock. It's been one of the bigger movers in the win total market. Opened as high as 7.5 in January, now down as low as 5.5 at some prominent books. But in this kind of spot here, I can't make a compelling case to lay points with Georgia Tech on the road. The one thing we've seen from the Yellow Jackets, they are phenomenal as an underdog, but as a team expected to go on the road and win by margin, especially at altitude in the season opener, not something that's going to be for me. A little bit angry at myself for not going under this total at 55. I think it could be a little bit lower scoring and would lean ever so slightly towards the Buffaloes, but not a game that's made it to my card just yet.
Maybe the most hyped Week 1 game of all time, Ohio State hosting Texas. The number continues to tick down. Right now I'm seeing Ohio State -1, total of 47. This game is really, really difficult to handicap, Fuhrman. I think it's probably 50-50 split on the money. What are the sharps saying out in Vegas right now?
That's what I would have thought, LT, but I actually spoke to a prominent sportsbook director from a high-profile book, and he expects this to be the biggest liability they're going to have on the opening Saturday because they just can't stop some of that Texas support that's coming to the market. Now, it's always a question of price, and professional bettors did take a little bit of Texas +3 early on, but they haven't really been the ones driving this line move as low as pick, and we actually saw Texas flip to a 1-point favorite out here at Circa yesterday after taking a 6-figure bet. There was a little bit of buyback, and we'll call one and pick 'em more or less the prevailing price tag. And I think it's a question of how you assess Arch Manning and essentially what I'm going to call his debut. I don't really count what we saw last year other than a drive or two against top-tier competition against an Ohio State team that's going to look a lot different. It's rare for a defending national champion to experience turnover, not just at the quarterback position and a battle that went through the latter stages of camp, but also breaking in a new first-time offensive coordinator in Brian Hartline, who I'm not even sure is going to call the plays from what I've been told by people around that program. And defensively, Matt Patricia, I'm not sure the last time he fielded a good defense. Maybe it was when the Patriots came up, one game short of a perfect season against the New York Giants back in the day. So those are the questions around the Scarlet and Gray, but I just can't rubber stamp Texas going in there and winning convincingly in this kind of spot. As the number continues to drift out, if I can get Ohio State at, +105, +110 as a short home underdog, it becomes a small value proposition above all else. They still recruit in rarefied air, and I have to believe that Ryan Day isn't going to take this game for granted at all, but should be one hell of a matchup and a fan base, in my opinion, in Texas that's probably putting more pressure on their team than Ohio State despite playing at home.
I'll point out real quick, this game is down to a pick, as you just said, at mybookie.ag. I just refreshed.
Wow.
It is a pick. I had no idea Texas, at least at one place, had flipped to the favorite yesterday. It's remarkable. This was 2.5 on Monday.
Yeah, 2.5, and right now as I'm looking at the board, it looks like DraftKings has just gone to Texas -1.5. So It puts things in perspective a little bit, especially for those folks that know the kind of clientele that DraftKings is notorious for booking.
What does that mean?
They take a lot more of the recreational players than they do folks with a level of sophistication. So if they're going to be the highest in the market here on Texas, it tells you probably where the public is betting this team. Yeah. And given the momentum we've seen so far, no reason to believe that it's not going to continue to move in the Longhorns' direction.
That's wild.
So Buckeyes.
I mean, if you're a contrarian, as our friend Lance Taylor is, that screams Ohio State. Yeah.
11 o'clock kick though.
That's right.
Those early ones are tough, Furman. You know it.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people. Are
that's what I figured, LT. But I wasn't sure for a game like this if you had to break your rules, especially if you had a chance to back Ohio State as a home underdog, something that happens, once a decade.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah.
Alabama, Florida State, 2:30. I don't know if you can play props on the big casinos in Vegas for a game like this, but I've seen some digital markets that have Ryan Williams total receiving yards at 72.5. Call me a homer. That seems low.
It's definitely a number that appears a little bit short on the surface. I think what's interesting about the handicap for this game, both side and total is all going to be about pace and tempo here, because Florida State knows they just don't have the firepower to go score for score with Alabama here as a 2-touchdown underdog. And yes, while Gus Malzahn has kind of been synonymous with playing a little bit up-tempo, spreading out their opponents, I don't get the sentiment from folks around the Florida State camp that that's the offensive mentality they're going to adopt with Thomas Castellanos. This is a roster extremely thin that could show up the deeper we get into the season. From a starting 22 perspective, Florida State better now than where they were when they limped to the finish last year. But at the same time, they just don't have the bodies in the trenches to match up with Alabama along the offensive line or the defensive line either. I just don't know if Alabama is going to run away and hide in this contest. I do think you'll see some Florida State money as 14 is kind of the consensus now. I have to imagine there'll be a little bit of an appetite as we get to 14.5. But for me, guys, I am slightly intrigued by this total, looking to go under in that 49.5, 50 range. You just have to hope Florida State keeps this game in shouting distance so they don't have to throw the football, play from behind, and potentially create short fields. But also keep in mind with this game, Alabama actually opened as low as an 8.5-point favorite real early in the summer, so it's a little bit difficult to gravitate towards laying the lumber here with the road favorite, especially as we get north of 2 touchdowns.
The other big one on Saturday, LSU at Clemson. Clemson continued to tick up a little bit. It got as high as 4.5. I think it settled around 4, total 57.5. The more and more I hear, people are on Clemson in this game, but another difficult game.
And this is a game for me where you kind of have to separate some of your macro thoughts from just the 60-minute sample size. I was a buyer of Clemson this offseason. Grabbed some national championship futures, and we talked about it, guys, probably about 6 weeks ago at prices that I didn't think were going to be in the market as we got closer to week 1. But that's not going to impact my handicap on this game, where I think LSU is as talented a team as any in the country. Still with plenty of questions to answer, mainly along the offensive line, if that group can rinse and repeat what we saw for stretches last year, if the defense can show market improvements with the return of Harold Perkins. But Clemson, also a program that's, has shown some struggles. Week 1 of the regular season, I know Brian Kelly grabs all of the headlines for what he hasn't been able to do with LSU, but Dabo hasn't exactly been buttoned up. This Clemson team checks a lot of boxes for me from an overall talent perspective, but I just can't get to this number being north of a field goal. So with Clemson hanging out now as a 4.5-point favorite in some spots, I really feel LSU offers the opportunity to upside there. So I lean towards the Bayou Bengals, and I'll help settle the debate. Down there in Baton Rouge, that is the real Death Valley, not what you have in Spartanburg, South Carolina.
100%. I love that, Fuhrman. Thank you very much for that. Listen, I grew up on Sesame Street as a kid. We were poor, and luckily PBS was free at my trailer park. So this pick is brought to you by the J and the L. Leading rusher in Notre Dame Miami's initials will be J and L. Likely Jeremiah Love, but I'm falling in love with Jordan Lyle of Miami. What do you make of this game, and is Jordan Lyle the real deal?
First half under for me in this game now, with the total having moved a little bit too much from a full game perspective, where it was 54.5 not too long ago. We're now down into the high 40s at most prominent shops. I'm a little bit surprised to see Notre Dame out to a full field goal favorite here, given that this building, specifically when they play Miami, has really been a house of horrors in their illustrious program history. At the same time, you give Marcus Freeman the edge when it comes to advanced prep and coming up with a game plan with an inexperienced quarterback for C.J. Carr, who won the battle. On the other side for Miami, what will Carson Beck look like under center? Will he remind us of the quarterback that was lauded as a potential first overall pick, or the guy that looked to be out to lunch for long stretches last year when he was in that Bulldogs huddle? Miami extremely inexperienced at the wide receiver position, but I love the hire of Corey Heatherman at defensive coordinator, a guy who's going to do everything he can to kind of eliminate some of those explosive plays that really plagued Miami last year. One other thing with this game as well, taking place at Hard Rock, there's an FCS game on the exact same surface the day before. So if we get some weather, which Miami, last I checked, is known for this time of year, that can slow down that track, I'm hoping that it plays extremely slow, and it's the first team to 24 that gets the win in this spot. So we lean ever so slightly towards Miami as a home underdog at a field goal, but first half under at 24.5. My most compelling bet in this one.
That's notoriously an issue, by the way. I mean, the Dolphins at least once a year play on a completely crap track because the Hurricanes played the night before there. So that field has a history of that.
We typically call it the Heinz Field effect, and normally for Miami, you'd figure that they want a faster track. For the Steelers playing in the wake of the Pitt Panthers, they love nothing more than to turn that thing into an absolute slog.
I cannot believe they share a stadium.
Who? Miami and Miami, or Pittsburgh and Pittsburgh?
Both, but Miami and Miami especially.
Yeah, well, I wish.
And I can't believe the Steelers allow it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, look, any chance you have, for Pitt, I feel like it gives them an opportunity to play in an NFL venue. For Miami, I'll never quite understand, but that may be a bigger indictment of the Dolphins franchise than anything else. At least out here, when it comes to the Raiders and UNLV, when UNLV plays the day before, they have their own turf field, given the technology that they can roll in, while the Raiders play on natural grass, so you never have to worry about the surface getting too roughed up.
All right, two things. We're going to get Fuhrman's under the radar. People loved it last year. We'll see if he'll give us an under the radar. Before we do the Micah Parsons trade, very rarely will point spreads move on anything other than a quarterback. How does this impact both the Cowboys and the Packers from a Vegas perspective?
It's changed things quite a bit in terms of the big picture. We saw the Packers go from around 20-1 to win the Lombardi Trophy, now down to 12-1. I think that's a little bit of an aggressive jump, in my opinion. We saw them go from a second favorite in the NFC North behind the Detroit Lions to a favorite at a lot of books. That move I can get on board with when you add that kind of disruptive talent on the defensive side. What is interesting, though, for me is that we actually even saw Jordan Love's odds to win the NFL MVP shrink with the Packers acquiring Micah Parsons, given the fact that we think that it's going to be a higher profile team and they may have a little bit of a better ceiling. I can tell you that all of us as football fans will no doubt be circling the Sunday Night Football game when Green Bay returns to Dallas in late September to see if fans elect to cheer for Micah Parsons and boo Jerry Jones or how things flip. But in terms of the Cowboys' outlook, this was a bad defense even with Parsons that gets worse. And so I think it makes, drafting certain players in fantasy like a Dak Prescott, a George Pickens, or a CeeDee Lamb that much more attractive, and expect all of those players to maybe even take some money in their season-long props. Although Dak Prescott was a bet-on guy from professional bettors, we saw his over-under for passing yards open earlier this summer around 37.50. That number got as high as 39.50, and wouldn't be shocked if it closed closer to 4,000 before kickoff on Thursday night.
All right, many of you remember Fuhrman's under the radar last year. It was scorching hot. You got one for us for week one, Todd Fuhrman, an under the radar pick.
You know what, gentlemen? It's so difficult because a lot of these numbers have moved. I thought I was going to come in today and offer up a potential play on a Friday night with Charlotte and give them out plus 5.5. That number's now down to a field goal, so we're not going to make that mistake. And as you go through the board, so many of these prices have kind of beat into shape. So I'll give you one. We'll call it a slight lean, more so than an official pick. But I lean towards UTEP plus the 6.5 on the road against Utah State. I know that's a game that's going to be a ratings palooza throughout the Birmingham area because when the Aggies do battle with the Miners, everyone wants to tune in. But I think UTEP is a little bit underrated right now with the way they're being priced. People in Logan seem to think that this defense is going to take a little bit of time. And the one thing we've seen about Bronco Mendenhall, he is a program builder. He just doesn't have the pieces in place right now. And with their strong safety, Ike Larson, being suspended for this game, I think you could see a couple of breakdowns in that defensive backfield. So we won't call this an official under-the-radar play, but UTEP plus 6.5 for me to get things going. It's the only number still kind of in range that hasn't been beaten up over the course of the summer.
All right, that's Fuhrman hitting range balls right there. We'll get him whipped into shape. Fuhrman, thank you, man. Enjoy week one.
Actually, you know what? I'll give you one more. I'll give you one more as well while we're here. Since I gave a lean, I'll give you another lean as well. And this one we'll do on the money line. We'll take Northwestern to go down to New Orleans and beat Tulane outright. Ooh. Northwestern has kind of been a buy-on team for us, an upgraded quarterback with Preston Stone. In my opinion, a better defense. And while I love John Summerall and think he is destined for bigger and better things, I have real questions about the Tulane at the quarterback position and some of the skill positions as well. So I'll take the Big Ten team on the road at AAC country, not just to cover as a 4.5-point dog, but to win that game outright.
Double bet from him. All right, Fuhrman, thank you. Enjoy the weekend. We'll see you next Friday.
You guys do the same, gents. Talk to you soon.
All right, buddy. Todd Fuhrman with us on the Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys Hotline.
Part of the show being brought to you by our friends at Gray's Tree Service. Just to clean up a little dead wood before LT tells you how you can get your dead wood cleaned up. We're working to get the Pick 3 back up at nextroundlive.com. Nextroundlive.com. That is working fast. Brooks is going to let me know as soon as that is back up. Had a little technical issue. It'll be back up here shortly. Nextroundlive.com. Nextroundlive.com. The pick 3. We'll give you our pick 3 picks a little bit later on. Mine's already up for you. We'll get these guys coming up in the next segment. Brought to you by our friends at Gray's Tree Service.
Family owned and operated right here in Birmingham. You can call 205-281-6100. Scan that QR code that Scott has pulled up, or visit graystree.com. From removal, which I had the 4 pines extracted a little over a year ago, trimming and health. You care for your lawn, care for your trees too, with our friends at Gray's. 205-281-6100. Let them know the guys from the Next Round sent you. For more information, graystree.com.
All right, as I mentioned, the money apparently flowing in hard on the Texas Longhorns. They are now a pick against Ohio State. Texas-Ohio State a pick, a total of 47 right there at mybookie.ag. According to Fuhrman, it's headed even more than that out in Vegas, so now might be a good time to jump on MyBookie and get them as a pick. The Alabama Crimson Tide still a 14-point favorite at mybookie.ag with a total of 50 in that game where weather might be an issue. Little Death Valley, Clemson a 4-point favorite over LSU, total of 57.5. And Auburn still holding at the 2 right now. They are a 2-point favorite tonight in Waco. Total of 58.5 as they take on Baylor. All those games at mybookie.ag. Code next round for that $500 bet back bonus at mybookie.ag. You make your first bet when you use code next round. If you lose up to $500, they will put it right back into your account. Mybookie.ag. Code next round for that bet back bonus. Mybookie.ag. Code next round.
Before you get to our tender moment of the day here, which also involves college football. Most things do on a Friday during football season here on our show. LSU, it seems like the coaching staff. Give me Forrester's microphone. Forrester, did you read this the same way I did? That it seems like LSU's coaching staff a little surprised that their starting safety is suspended the first half of the game against Clemson coming up Saturday night. Is that the way you took this week?
Yeah, it's a weird situation. So guy transfers from Houston, gets a penalty at the end of the BYU game.
They were in a fight. He was part of a fight.
Right, part of a fight. Initially, it was just supposedly a misconduct penalty. The Big 12 clarifies that he was actually kicked out of the game, which means he's suspended, but somehow this just got revealed to LSU within the last
Brian Kelly said Wednesday we're trying to get clarification from the SEC and the NCAA if the suspension carries over. He will have to miss half the game.
Yeah, the first half of LSU Clemson because of being in a fight in Houston BYU.
Now, here is the petty part of college football that I hope never dies. There's widespread speculation, and only speculation, that Clemson is actually the one that sparked this fire because somebody at Clemson found out about this situation, and they reached out to the NCAA to say, hey, we need clarification, which, by the way, I don't blame Clemson at all. I would want clarification on that
absolutely.
if I'm Clemson. Yeah. But that it was Clemson reaching out to the NCAA, which got this ball kind of rolling, which has now led to this kid having to miss the first half.
Starting safety.
Yeah.
A.J. Halsey for LSU.
If you're doing game planning, you would want to know if the starting safety is playing or not. Yeah. That's only Clemson doing their due diligence there, I would say.
But surely if you're LSU, you had to think you weren't going to just try to sneak this past the goalie.
Play the guy?
It's like,
maybe so.
Hey, let's Pete Thamel all over the story there with his tweets. You can go check them out on social media there. I'm just saying that I would rather have reached out if I was LSU instead of saying, well, surely they're not going to find out that they actually deposited an extra $100,000 in my bank account this week,
I'll
right?
spend it before they catch it.
It seems like a bad plan there. By the way, a couple of bets before we do our tender moment of the day, just some props. If you can get props wherever you can, at some places, over under pass attempts for Garrett Nussmeier in that game at 37.5. Seems like a lot.
Oh, boy, they're behind.
LSU wants to be able to run the football this year. They just haven't been able to do it under Brian Kelly. Caden Durham's going to be good, I think, but I wouldn't be surprised. If you think that game's going to go over.
Well, that's a lot of throws.
It's a lot of
on
throws,
the road.
especially with that offensive line.
Pass attempts road game against that defensive
That's an actual
line.
prop, though.
37.5. I don't know if that's at our mybookie.ag, but The folks at The Athletic are sending me these 3 prop bets are the ones that play. They say play lower than 37.5.
Okay, well, yeah, I mean, that's a lot. But if that number's there for a reason, I would look at total sacks in this game. I mean, I really would.
If you're going to throw
you
that
probably
much.
Total sacks probably 4.5.
I should know. If I drop back to pass and I get sacked, does that count as a pass attempt? It doesn't, does it?
It does not.
Okay.
You got to let the ball go.
Yeah. The one to play higher than
actually counts as a rush attempt.
Deshaun Bishop, Tennessee running back, higher than 0.5 rushing plus receiving touchdowns. So just for Deshaun Bishop to score a touchdown against Syracuse, I would like to play that over, that he at least gets in the end zone once. Deshaun Bishop there at Tennessee. And then I mentioned the Furman, Ryan Williams. They say play higher than the 72.5.
Weather would impact that, but without weather or a bad track, I would like the over on that as well.
Yeah, I like Deshaun Bishop too.
Yeah.
He's going to be, I mean, they hope he's going to be the next Dylan Sampson.
Yeah, and then Ryan Williams at over 72.5. And now, before we do the tender moment, probably a good time to mention the other part of that receiving corps that'll join us. Are we ready to do that?
You mean
yet?
the guy that's opposite Ryan Williams?
Yeah.
Yes, we are ready to release this.
That are also likely higher than 72.5 receiving yards. Maybe if Ryan's under 72.5 receiving yards, it's probably because of this guy.
This guy better be over. Alabama's got some issues. Starting Monday, one of our NIL deals, Alabama wide receiver Jeremy Bernard is going to join the show every single week. He's going to do so courtesy of our friends at Innisfree Irish Pub in Tuscaloosa and Form Energy Drink. We'll tell you more about both of those that great organization and that great energy drink when Jeremy Bernard joins us starting Monday, 10 a.m. Monday. 10 a.m. every Monday, including Labor Day. We'll get the reaction to Alabama's game over the weekend from one of their star players, Alabama receiver Jeremy Bernard.
What a great world. Finally, we can tie Alabama football player Innisfree together in a wonderful NIL deal.
10 years ago, that would have seemed impossible.
They've always been part of the landscape.
Yeah, they didn't just start going there.
At Innisfree, the great destination location in Tuscaloosa. And Jeremy Bernard will be part of the Monday show, thanks to Innisfree and Form Energy Drinks. All right. Time for our tender moment of the day. It still is college football for you. Brought to you by our friends at Bojangles.
It can be bow time for you this weekend, whether you're headed to a tailgate tonight with high school football or Saturday with college football, or you just got a watch party. Make Bojangles part of that with their catering for your tailgate or your watch party. They've got those great hand-breaded tenders, those great sauces to go with them. And you can get one for every taste, from sweet to tangy to heat. They've got it right there, including smooth and creamy. So get those hand-breaded tenders from Bojangles. And for breakfast, that pork chop grilled biscuit is back. You loved it. You missed it. You don't have to wait any longer. It's back at your nearest Bojangles. It's bow time.
I can't even believe this is a real story. The phrase gold digger.
We got it coming up on trash.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll save it for trash. I was gonna slide it into. I had it yesterday and didn't put it on the show yesterday. Sent to us by several of our listeners and viewers. Later in trash, our tender moment of the day involving gold digger and the college football world. It is now a trademark phrase. That later in trash in about an hour. When we come back, we will do our Shannara Spotlight today, Monday headlines before the games are played, plus these guys will start unveiling their Pick 3 picks and more of your Pick 3s as we continue to focus on all the college football games. The show being brought to you by our friends at Inverness Country Club. They'll tell you how you can always have a great time. When it comes to Inverness, I know right now they're remaking the courts there, the tennis courts.
I saw our friends from Inverness. They were out last night in one of those. Our friend Erin, you can obviously call her at any point and get a tour of the unbelievable club. They've got memberships that fit everyone, from the social membership to the golf membership, childcare. We talked about this with John Willard, our buddy that was there last night. He loves to go play a round of golf, drop the kid off. Always a massive plus, knowing your kid is site right there on site. Best days happen at Inverness. To take a tour of this unbelievable club, call Aaron today, 205-991-8608, or online, iccalabama.com.
Everything Next Round is on demand now in the podcast section. at nextroundlive.com.
Have you been injured in an 18-wheeler accident, company truck accident, car accident, or work-related accident? Call Alabama's largest personal injury firm. Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys will fight for every dollar you deserve, and it won't cost you a dime. Trust me. What do you say, man?
Call me, Alabama.
Call 659-777-7777 or go to Shinara.com.
No representation made that the legal services provided are better than legal services provided by other attorneys.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood. Catch up on all today's Next Round on demand through the podcast platform of your choice, Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcast, wherever you listen. Always like, follow, subscribe, and turn on automatic downloads so you never miss any part of the Next Round. Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service. Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
Get all your favorite Next Round gear all in one place. NextRound.store. From our Next Round hats to the logo tees to the all-time best-selling Y'all Can Have the Rest shirt. You can look your best by shopping with us at NextRound.store. Take the next round anywhere with NextRound.store.
Excitement awaits at Barber Motorsports Park for the UAB Medicine GT World Alabama Benefiting Teal Wings of Hope, September 5th through 7th. Witness some of the most iconic sports cars like Lamborghini, McLaren, and Ferrari battle it out on the track. Enjoy the beer gardens, food trucks, kids zone, garage, and more. The UAB Medicine GT World Alabama. Kids 15 and under get in free. Get your tickets today.
Never miss anything from the Next Round when you listen on demand through the podcast platform of your choice, Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcast, wherever you listen. Always like, follow, subscribe, turn on automatic download so you can catch every part of the Next Round. Listen anywhere in the world, anytime on the Next Round podcast feed, and support the show by following, subscribing, and turning on automatic downloads on any podcast platform. Listen anywhere in the world, anytime on the Next Round podcast feed. Thanks for always making the Next Round a big part of your day.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between 2 warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
More Pick 3 in just a second. Michelson Laser Vision bringing you part of the show today. Lee Corso, a lot of you hopefully will be using that great eyesight from Michelson to watch his final show tomorrow. A lot of fanfare around that in the broadcast last night as well, showing clips from celebrities all talking about Lee Corso and that final headgear, which has to be Brutus, right? Got to be Brutus. Started with Brutus, in with Brutus.
I would think so. By the way, I was going to, before you do Michelson, I'm sorry, I was going to send it to you for the tender moment. I forgot to. I saw a video on TikTok this morning of him at the gate for the his flight to Columbus.
Yeah. Oh, I saw that.
Have you seen this?
Yeah.
Have you seen
No,
it?
I have not.
So he's at the gate. You can't really, all you can see is the back of his head. I think it's his son that's with him. So he's at the gate for Southwest Airlines, and the person at the gate gets on the overhead and recognizes Lee Corso, says he has been at this gate. He's flown out of here so many times. I've talked to him. I've got this photo with him. And says, we'd like everyone, I got chills just talking about this. We'd like everyone to show your appreciation for Coach Corso, and people at the gate give him a standing ovation.
Yeah, the whole airport
gives him a
standing ovation.
It's really, really nice, man. I mean, it's.
You think there were some people there like,
here it is, right
this
here.
guy?
Yeah, look, Scott's so quick on this stuff. Yeah. So you can see, like, everybody's clapping for him, and they stand up and clap, and all you can see is the back of Coach Corso's head. And so the gate attendant recognizes him, and it even says this is his final. It's going to be his final flight to go make a pick, and he's headed to Columbus. So really, really cool. I think that's going to be so awesome tomorrow.
Yeah, a lot of tears on that set throughout the day. You'll see that on game day tomorrow. Brought to you by our friends at Michelson Laser Vision.
205-969-8100. Got the procedure done in 2003. Had the 2200 vision. I was legally blind without the aid of contacts. After the procedure, 2015 vision better than 2020. 205-969-8100. For more information, michelsonlaservision.com.
The College Football Spotlight.
Like the game's already been played. Monday's headlines today.
The Shannara Spotlight presented each day by our guy Alexander Shannara, trial attorneys, Birmingham-based. He's been doing it for a very, very long time, and he's recovered more than $2 billion for his clients. One thing Alexander Shannara wanted to do was make certain that Birmingham and everyone that lived in Birmingham had an attorney that could take care of everything his community faced, and he has done just that. You know, they handle personal injury claims. What you might not know is now they also handle fire and storm damage claims, bad drug and device claims, disability, workers' compensation, and a host of other claims. When you find yourself in need of an attorney, call Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys. You pay nothing unless they win your case. Shannara.com, Shannara.com.
It was my job today to come up with the headlines, Monday's headlines before the games are played. So here's where we're going. My big headline is this one. LSU unveils a new logo for season opener.
That's 6 L's?
Add one more L to the list. It's LSU. Clemson 27-23 for me. Just keep adding the L's there.
That's pretty good.
I like LSU making the playoffs. I like LSU winning the national championship. They just won't beat Clemson in this game. 27-23. Should be an entertaining football game, but I'll take the Tigers. Second story, Cafe Risque. If you know, you know. Castellana stripped of success versus Bama. Those signs were all over on the road to around Tallahassee on the interstates back in the day. And then Golden Arch Madness. Just a few nuggets for Horns offense in 24-10 loss. I'm all over the Buckeyes in this one. So give me the Buckeyes, give me the Tide, and give me the Clemson Tigers.
Been waiting all summer, Jimmy. Those are three good ones. I'll give you all the
Golden
applause.
Arch Madness. It's finally Arch Manning's time, guys, and it's been a lot of hype going around it. I'm actually surprised that Jordan Rodgers is one of a handful of people that have the balls to get out and say, I don't think the tape matches the hype. He's actually on the record saying he doesn't think the guy's ready to be what everyone thinks he's going to be.
Look, I think, and I've said this for months and months and months, I do have my doubts. I think he's ultimately going to be really good. I mean, he's been in this system for a couple of years now. Sarkisian is one of the best play callers. He's going to have a ton of skill around him. But I agree. I mean, Aaron Murray said it. Now Jordan has said it. And I just don't think the hype is going to match right now. But I think ultimately, I think he's going to be a great quarterback. I guess he's going to be a great quarterback.
I mean, you give him the benefit of the doubt because of the last name. We've talked about that for a very long time on this show.
But the fact of the matter, Brown, he's playing on the road, tough place to play against the defending national champs, who has arguably, he's got to worry about where Caleb Downs is on every play.
No, you're absolutely right about that. And I think in this game in particular, his defense is going to help him a lot. I think that Texas defense, because Julian Sayin literally has not started a game. We can debate, Fuhrman was like, I kind of consider this Arch Manning's starting debut. I don't consider those other three starts. this is like his first start. Well, it is 100% the first start for Julian Sayin. So I think that defense is going to help Arch out. I think his own defense is going to have him in some good field position situations, maybe even a turnover situation.
Yeah, I mean, strangely, if you had a quarterback making his first start, a quarterback with 87 career passing yards like Julian Sayin, the pressure would be all on him coming into his own stadium as a slight underdog, as the defending national champions, but all the pressure is on Arch.
Can you imagine if Ohio State goes off as a home dog in this game, as Fuhrman was talking about they are in some places right now? I mean, as he said, Lance, what's the last time you've been able to get Ohio State as a home dog?
You haven't.
Yeah. So you see, Jim, what the perception is, as if you didn't already know about Arch Manning in Texas. Fuhrman just said it. They can't stop the money coming in on Texas right now.
Wow.
I mean, it's crazy. This game, Texas was a 2.5-point underdog Monday or Tuesday, and now they're a favorite in some places here.
They can't turn the spigot off, is what you're saying, Brown.
Yeah, they can't stop. That's what Fuhrman said. They can't. Whatever they've done, they can't stop the money coming in on Texas.
That's really crazy. We'll get to some of these other things going on in 4 downs. A couple of interesting SEC games as part of our pick 3 before Brown gives us his pick 3. Involves Brown's upset alert and my upset alert. It's going to be interesting to watch that 11 a.m. window for the SEC, not just Syracuse and Tennessee, not just Texas and Ohio State, but the little flakes that are off to the side of that SEC schedule. Mississippi State, Southern Miss. And by the way, one of our viewers down in Hattiesburg told us we're totally wrong, that Mississippi State will not have half the stadium.
Okay.
He thinks they'll have their allotted piece and that Southern Miss fans will fill the rest of the seats. He thinks it'll be a great
Is he a
home
Southern
field.
Miss guy?
He is. He's listening to us in Hattiesburg.
But, I mean, it's rare that they get one of these state teams. Well,
right.
It's rare they get Ole Miss or State to come into that place. So this should be one of the biggest tickets they've ever had.
So we apologize. We defer to you since you're in Hattiesburg. I apologize. I just assumed that Mississippi State fans would buy their way into the stadium for this one, but I'll wait and see if I'm wrong on that one. And then Toledo and Kentucky, 2 potentials there for the SEC to not look great. Now, I say that. Last night, the Big Ten against middling MAC teams, they all won the game. But there was nobody impressive in Minnesota, Wisconsin, or Rutgers with what I saw last night.
No, I mean, Rutgers were lucky to survive.
Yeah.
I mean, Wisconsin, a little surprised they got the shutout. I don't think there's any expectation for that team. In Minnesota, I mean, they played a better than advertised team.
Yeah. Chris Hummer, by the way, 247 on that Wisconsin game because this impacts Alabama moving forward. If you watched, quarterback Billy Edwards got injured early in that game. But they say that does not appear to be a long-term injury, sources are telling CBS Sports. But they won't know for 24 to 48 hours. The way the report ends, there is hope he could be back for Alabama, which is week 3.
You know, he's on all these watch lists, and Billy Edwards last year in Maryland just wasn't a good quarterback. So I don't know how close QB2 is there at Wisconsin, but doesn't seem like a massive loss.
QB1 went out against Alabama last year, ended his season against Alabama last year, so they will have potential quarterback injury situations when they face Alabama again. I'm with you, Jim. Wisconsin looked awful. I mean, that game is 17-0. It was 3-0, I believe, in the fourth quarter. Wisconsin couldn't score.
UTSA and Texas A&M is another one of those flake games that you say, okay, SEC team that was contending in the rivalry game with Texas to make it to Atlanta last year. Ranked team, supposed to be good again. But they lost 3 defensive linemen to the first 2 rounds of the NFL draft. So Mike Elko's got to replace those guys. And UTSA is one of those programs, LT, that cycles in pretty good every now and then. And there is hope that this is bounce back year for UTSA to be relevant again in the American.
Yeah, I mean, a couple of years ago with Frank Harris at quarterback and, Jeff Traylor is respected amongst all coaches. They had an opportunity, a lot of people believe, to maybe be that Group 5 representative. And I don't know. It's a lot of points in this game, 23.5.
Feel a little rich to you?
I am fascinated to see Marcel Reed, though, is the full-time, it's all yours. Texas A&M's all in on this kid, and we're probably sleeping on him a little bit.
You think we are?
I think we are, yeah.
All right, Buffalo Wild Wings pick 3. We'll have it up for you soon at nextroundlive.com, nextroundlive.com, where you can make the plays all the way up till 11 o'clock tomorrow before the kicks on Saturdays every week. Our friends at Buffalo Wild Wings. But Brownie's got his 3 picks. We'll get LT's, Brooks, and Forrester's later after we do trash Tell us, Brownie, your pick 3 for the weekend.
I am going to go with a Friday night game, a Monday night game, and a Saturday game. I'm going to just spray the board. If we had 4, I'd find one of the Sunday games I like, but it's only 3, my friends.
I got you covered on Sunday. I got Miami.
Yeah, you do. So I'm going to start with a Monday night game, TCU minus 3.5. North Carolina couldn't cover at home at all last year. I like tonight, Colorado plus the 4.5 now.
We're just opposite sides. If I wasn't a little under the weather, I'd say let's get together and watch that game.
Yeah, I don't want to catch what you got.
Yeah.
Colorado.
We're in pretty close proximity right now.
I just gave it to 1,000 people, or either got it from somebody last night.
If I hadn't got it by now, I think I'm okay. Colorado plus 4.5. Now, I am a little bit worried. The more you've talked about that Juju Lewis situation, I hope you don't see a lot of him. I hope you see a lot of Caden Salter.
I ended up staying away from the game because I do think Georgia Tech is better. I think Colorado's the right side tonight, whether or not that pans out. But I am fascinated to see the quarterback rotation, so I did stay away.
This is a ton of points right here, especially when you're talking about Penn State minus 43.5. But
it's been dropping.
It has been dropping. If you watch James Franklin, he'll run it up against those teams. He's covered 70% of the time. Covered 70% of the time as a favorite. So he's covering machine there. So I think James Franklin and that new Jim Knowles defense will really throttle Nevada down. So 43.5 is not too rich for me.
All right, let's get to our 4 downs today, brought to you by our friends at Woodhouse Day Spa. They bring you our 4 downs.
You know, we've been telling you, you are going to be on the couch all fall long. You want to make sure you take care of the wife or girlfriend. Get out of the doghouse before you get in it. A gift card from our friends at the Woodhouse Day Spa would do exactly that. You can stop in, see Stuart and the great staff located at the Summit Shopping Centers. Beautiful location. Make sure you tell them the next round sent you. You can choose from a menu of over 70 options, including the massages, body treatment, skincare, waxing, nail services. Woodhouse Day Spa voted America's best day spa since 2009. Order that special person gift online 24/7. Birmingham.woodhousespas.com. That's Birmingham.woodhousespas.com.
First down.
Who is at their current job longer, Dave Aranda or Hugh Freeze?
Hugh Freeze. I'm going to say Auburn Goodyear this year. In fact, I have them being the last at-large team in the playoffs.
Be a very good year.
That keeps him at Auburn for a couple more years. And I think this is Dave Aranda's last year at Baylor.
You think he gets fired?
Yeah, I think the loser of this game ends up getting fired.
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds weird, but when you look at what the rest of these teams have this year, I mean, if Auburn was to lose this game yet to hit an SEC schedule, that's a problem.
Yeah, if Auburn loses this game, in the 2-4 to start the year is in play.
Well, because
and is there a chance he loses his job in season?
Yeah, there is. If you lose this game, you know by the end of the month you've still got to go to College Station in Norman, and that is a big problem if you've lost in Waco.
Yeah, I would tell you this, though.
No offense to Waco. I'm just saying you've already taken a road loss and you got 2 more tough ones coming out. I'm
going to go Aranda, though.
I'm with you on Aranda. Keep in mind, though, that John Cohen, the athletic director at Auburn, he hired Hugh Freeze. He's backed Hugh Freeze. This has been his guy. Bruce Pearl, he can celebrate with Bruce Pearl all you want, but Bruce Pearl wasn't his hire. So, like Mark Ingram, you talked about ADs maybe losing their job with football coaches. That was a gamble by Mark Ingram at UAB to go Trent Dilfer, absolutely. But Mark Ingram also brought Andy Kennedy in. So he does get some credit for what Andy's doing in basketball. There's no Bruce Pearl glow shining on John Cohen. So I could see Cohen trying to ride this one to the absolute end.
I think this is also fascinating. Where are your Auburn friends on Hugh Freeze? Because I remember Gus Malzahn, Auburn fans were very vocal. They thought the situation was stale. They're going to lose 4 or 5 games a year. Harsin, almost immediately, they were done with him. Can't get a read on Hugh Freeze. It's like... It's almost like me now. They're kind of waiting to see if this thing could still pop.
So you're saying they didn't want him from day one, and he hasn't won them over.
Yeah. Did not want him from day one. That was
who did they want
as the process. They were just ready for anybody but Brian Harsin, and they didn't have a favorite. They weren't thrilled about Lane Kiffin. They were not thrilled about Deion Sanders and those rumors. There was nobody that was being mentioned that they were interested.
I just thought it was such a good pairing.
Yeah. It's not over yet. I mean, I've got them going to the playoffs.
I know,
so
but man,
you could still end up being right.
Yeah, I just first 2 years of just falling so flat.
Or as people kept telling me last night at walk-ons, you're just trying to land minus. You're just trying to land
A lot of people believe that.
Yep.
I've been asked that too.
I was asked, does Dunaway, is he just reverse jinxing Auburn? I'm like, no.
No, I also have Alabama in there.
I know.
Yeah. So I have LSU and Texas and Ohio State. They could all burn, but yeah,
you're not going to go 0 for 12 on your playoff picks.
I hope not.
Yeah.
I mean, if anyone could.
I kind of hope you do.
If anyone could.
Can you imagine how amazing it would be?
That's pretty bad to go 0 for 12.
That would be crazy.
Second down.
I didn't know, by the way. I had 4 ready just in case.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I didn't know where. I didn't know where we were today.
Yeah, well, it's been all over the place.
You did a lot planning that party last night. So
more total touchdowns tonight. Sawyer Robertson or Jackson Arnold?
Well, I mean, this probably tells you who wins the game. Did you have that?
I had that one.
Yeah. Which way were you going?
I had it. So usually I don't. If I ask it, I don't answer.
You don't have an answer.
But I could see one of these guys have 4 or 5 touchdowns and still lose the game.
I'm going to say that they're probably equal in the number of touchdown passes. You know, I think Auburn wins the game, and I think they cover, and I think they cover by 10, but I think Auburn runs it in a little bit too. But in touchdown passes.
By the way, I just gave my play away just in that little sentence.
I didn't even catch it. Didn't catch it. Yep.
But I
did. Now that I think about it.
I think Jackson Arnold has 2 touchdown passes that are 20 yards or longer tonight. So not just 2 touchdown passes, 2 that are longer than 20 yards. I'll give him 3 touchdown passes, 1 rushing touchdown for Jackson Arnold, 4 total touchdowns for Arnold, more than Sawyer Robertson.
There is, again, this is rumor and speculation, but there is rumor and speculation about the health of Auburn's receiving core going into tonight's game.
Is there
specifically Singleton might not be 100%. A lot of people are talking about that. I have not seen that Hugh Freeze has addressed it.
Things you should tell me, Brown, before I take my pick. I'm still okay with the receivers they have.
So I think that's something to watch early, though. How healthy is Auburn at receiver? Is Singleton 100%? I think it's a thigh injury that he has battled in camp is what the speculation is.
Was he on the availability report on Wednesday?
I can't find the availability report. I went to the SEC and they don't have it. Are they doing it for all games this year, not just conference games?
Oh, that's right. It's out of conference.
Okay.
That's why
it wasn't there. Yeah. But I thought at one point they talked about doing it for all games.
Yeah, because the Big 12 is doing them this year.
Yeah, but maybe the SEC's not on board yet.
I'll check.
Did we have a full injury report last weekend in Ireland?
Yeah, because like Jim said, first of all, that was a conference game. But second of all, I think the Big 12 is doing every game this year. With all of that said, I have completely forgotten the question. I'll take Sawyer Robertson, more total touchdowns. I think he's the better of the 2 quarterbacks in this game.
Third down.
More likely upset, Toledo over Kentucky in Lexington or Colorado at home tonight over Georgia Tech? I don't know. I mean,
I liked Toledo, too. I was going to go with that in the upset alert. I ended up swapping to Mississippi State and Southern Miss, who picked Southern Miss, and Dunaway went with Toledo. I'll say more likely upsets Colorado.
I would think Colorado,
but I do like your Toledo Kentucky pick. I would lie. I think both those upsets are likely.
It's in play, and it could never happen, and it would be the tree falling in the forest and nobody hears it. But there are a lot of SEC coaches that if they are to lose this week, like Monday, wherever your respective call-in show is, whether it's in Lexington, like if Mark Stoops was to lose this game after a 4-8,
$45 million,
and it is very much in play though that he loses this game.
It's $45 million though. That's the factor.
Yeah. I just had Toledo getting inside the number. I don't think they actually lose it outright. I just think it's an ugly Kentucky win.
Yeah, for the record,
all Kentucky wins.
I am pulling hard for Auburn tonight because I can't imagine what the feel of the show is going to be Monday if Auburn is to lose this game.
We know what our Labor Day show will be. No prep on the weekend. It'll be reaction to Ty Simpson's performance and Hugh Freeze if Auburn loses. Yep. Either way, those are the two. The talking points will be through the roof Monday and Tuesday.
Fourth.
I'm going to go Toledo, though, just in case. It'll be ugly enough Toledo's got a chance.
Fourth down.
What would be the more crushing upset for this respective SEC team? Syracuse beating Tennessee or Virginia Tech beating South Carolina?
I think Syracuse-Tennessee would get explained away on Joey Aguilar, and they got put in a bad position. I still respect Coach for standing his ground and telling Nico to kick rocks. Shane Beamer, lots of offseason hype. They've got one of the best offensive players in the league. They've got one of the best defensive players in the nation. They got a running back out of the portal that's cleared to play now in Faison. Georgia Tech's not supposed to be in the same league with South Carolina. I think it would look worse on South Carolina if they lost to Virginia
I do
Tech.
too, and I think it's very much in play. I really do.
I mean, they're only a touchdown favorite, obviously. South Carolina.
Talking to John Willard, Virginia Tech fan, he's going to the game. He's like, "We're going to get destroyed."
Yeah, he is so pessimistic. Since I've known him, ever since I've known him, I was like,
"Well, you've only known him in the bad years, though."
Well, I've known him since before the pandemic. I met him. We became friends in 19.
The bad years.
Yeah, that was the bad years.
Yeah.
You didn't know him in the Beamer years.
Yeah. So
I mean, for the record, I got to throw this out because I did a lot of numbers that I'm not going to get to, but I did want to throw that out about Virginia Tech. Where was it?
I'll quickly answer while you look
it
up. I think it's worse for South Carolina because of their level of expectation. I'm with you. Aguilar could be a work in process. Lenore Sellers is not a work in process. We've seen his work.
Damn, he might be able to blame you for Virginia Tech's falling out since you guys shook hands or whatever, because literally 25 straight winning seasons and then 41-46 last 7 seasons, second worst in the ACC, only behind Georgia Tech.
We may have became friends 7 years ago, so that may take us back to 2018. So I can't remember if it was 18 or 19. I know we played golf every day during the pandemic. So we had to tell the folks at Oak Mountain that we were brothers so we could ride in the same cart.
Seriously?
Yeah, we lived in the same house. They went back then.
God, some of the dumb shit we had during the pandemic.
Did y'all live in the same house? Yeah. Yes.
All right.
So we can ride in the same cart. If not, we'd have to have individual carts.
Y'all live in the same house.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
We do.
Do we look like we live in the same house?
We do. We do.
All right, I am going to take Virginia Tech over South Carolina as well.
All right, that's our 4 downs today. And this hour, final hour of the show, brought to you by Champies. It was great seeing Sterling and Megan last night from Champies on Highway 119 in Alabaster. Megan's heading to the lake. Sterling's in the kitchen right now cooking up that great chicken. He is like, Dunaway, are you going to ever do the Hot Ones Challenge again? And I said, absolutely. I would do it any time. And he said, well, Lance didn't think you would do it again. And I said, I would do it. Absolutely. I said, I would do it if Lance did it.
No, I would do it again.
I would do it again.
It wasn't as bad as I thought it would be.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Well, I would do it with Sterling.
Yeah, so they don't taste like crap. They're just hot.
Yeah, I want hot that tastes good.
That's
and
right.
Sterling can do that. But he's got the wings. I don't talk about those enough at Champy's world famous fried chicken. But the hand-cut chicken fingers. I mean, you have chicken fingers all the time. His are elite. And they're as big as a baby's arm. They're that big. Mississippi Delta recipe tamales, all the great sides and everything. Highway 119. You watch football, enjoy chicken. Who just put that on a t-shirt. Enjoy chicken at champy'schicken.com.
Call the next round now at 205-734-0923.
Have you been injured in an 18-wheeler accident, company truck accident, car accident, or work-related accident? Call Alabama's largest personal injury firm. Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys will fight for every dollar you deserve, and it won't cost you a dime. Trust me. What do you say, man?
Call me, Alabama.
Call 659-777-7777 or go to Shinara.com.
No representation made that the legal services provided are better than legal services provided by other attorneys.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemphill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemphill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemphill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemphill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090. Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood. Get all your favorite Next Round gear all in one place, nextround.store. From our Next Round hats to the logo tees to the all-time best-selling Y'all Can Have the Rest shirt, you can look your best by shopping with us at nextround.store. Take the Next Round anywhere with nextround.store.
Excitement awaits at Barber Motorsports Park for the UAB Medicine GT World Alabama Benefiting Teal Wings of Hope, September 5th through 7th. Witness some of the most iconic sports cars like Lamborghini, McLaren, and Ferrari battle it out on the track. Enjoy the beer gardens, food trucks, kids zone, garage, and more. The UAB Medicine GT World Alabama. Kids 15 and under get in free. Get your tickets today.
When you crave activity like we do, you belong in the Roback family. Get the best golf wear, hoodies, and activewear for men and women at Roback.com. Use promo code TNR20 to get 20% off your order. That's Roback.com, promo code TNR20.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
Next Round shirts, Next Round hoodies, and Next Round hats are all in one place. NextRound.store. Find your favorite piece of gear from your favorite show and put it in your rotation. You never know. You might be in one of our videos showing Next Round gear being worn all over the world. Find all your favorite Next Round gear by visiting NextRound.store. Place an order for you and that big Next Round fan in your life at NextRound.store. Look your best at work, at school, at the stadium, or anywhere you go wearing Next Round gear from NextRound.store.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between two warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
All right, rolling in now to the final hour of the show officially. Always brought to you by our friends at Champy's World Famous Fried Chicken down there with Sterling and the crew. I just told you about them. If you were there right now, Tyler.
Tyler likes them baked beans.
I do like the baked beans. The potato salad's great.
Potato salad is great.
Do you mix them?
I love mixing baked beans and potato salad together. It's good.
Yeah. What would be your entree, though? You're not a vegetarian.
No, I'm not.
You like the meat, I'm told.
I'd have a few different chicken tenders and then maybe some tamales, because you can't skip out on those when you're at Champy's.
You gotta have those.
Would you tell my wife next time she goes through there, like she did last time, she didn't bring any tamales?
Yeah.
There's not another place in Birmingham that you would go and I would say, what about the tamales?
Right.
But she didn't.
Yeah, like I don't even know, honestly, I don't know a Mexican restaurant. Like I used to get tamales every now and then at Superior Grill, but that's the only place I think I've ever ordered a tamale at a Mexican restaurant.
When I was a kid, Los Mexicanos was the first Mexican restaurant in Anniston, and then everybody raved about their tamales. And I'd never really had Mexican, so I was like, okay, I'll get the tamales. I was a little kid, and they were good, but these are different. They're not the Mexican type. They're Mississippi Delta.
First time I had tamales was Hormel out of a can.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Blah, blah.
Oh, I used to get those microwave burritos.
That would have been Thanksgiving for you guys in the mud puddle.
Did you ever have those, they called it the bomb? It was a huge microwavable burrito. Am I the only one that ate that?
I'm sure, probably.
Yeah.
I used to microwave cheeseburgers when I'd come in from late night at the bars.
There are those microwavable burritos that are like 39 cents each. Have you guys had those?
I have not had those.
Probably healthy and probably all authentic.
Yeah, this was back when I was a kid. These were frozen, and my mom would buy them so I could eat them at home in the summer.
That's not a farm-to-table burrito?
It was not farm-to-table, no.
Okay, back to the pick three in just a second. But Micah Parsons trade, before we get back to college football, we talked about it with Furman. It went down when Brown and I were just arriving at walk-ons. I don't hate this for the Cowboys. I don't hate this. I sat there for a second.
Well, you should hate this.
I sit there for a second.
Okay.
And then I thought to myself, he has timed this out. Jerry Jones has timed this out to after Netflix's series is out, and he is reminding everybody what he did with Herschel Walker.
Oh,
and
wow.
now after
I
that,
didn't think about that.
After that drops, then he gets, because he says we've been planning this a long time, is what he says.
Well, you get Kenny Clark, who is one of the best defensive tackles in football.
Nobody knows his name, but yeah.
You get 2 future first-round picks. I think you had gotten to an impasse where both sides were so bitter at each other that it was going to be tough to reunite those two. What I don't like as a Rams fan is, like, for the Cowboys in the future, I wasn't scared of Cowboys in the here and now. Packers to add this piece, and you heard Fuhrman talk about, what the numbers are doing, going from a 20-1 to win the Lombardi to a 12-1.
Well, I was surprised at that.
Yeah, that's a big jump. But I'm telling you, man, with him on the defensive side, Green Bay is the real deal now.
We have a mutual friend,
Reggie White, like impact.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We have a mutual friend, Alex, one of the bartenders at Odie's, and I saw him Wednesday night. And the first thing he said to me, Alex listens to the show. He'll bring this up next Wednesday. He's like, Brown, I do not want them to trade for Micah Parsons. I said, you do want them to trade? He said, I do not. And I said, let me ask you this question, Alex. I said, what do you think your record's going to be? And I think Alex said, Jim, I think he said 12-5. I said, what do you think your record is with Micah Parsons?
Did he text you?
He said 12-5. No, he didn't. But
he just texted me. He said, hey, didn't want Brown to misrepresent my feelings. When I found out, I jumped out of my chair. So clearly I wanted this all along, and I was lying to myself.
He said he didn't.
Well,
but, I mean, if I ask you guys that same question, what was the Packers' record before yesterday in your mind? What did you think the Packers were before yesterday?
I thought they were probably 11-6.
Okay, what do you think they are with Micah Parsons?
I mean, it's probably only a one-game improvement.
Exactly.
But I'm just saying, once you get to the postseason and you've got a closer like Micah Parsons.
He's got 1 sack in 4 postseason games.
I'm just telling you.
But then you get to the Cowboys, who have been middling nowhere, and now you get 4 first-round picks. Yours is going to be pretty good. Plus, later in the first round, you get another, or you can start pairing them up and moving up if you need to. Everybody on the networks, ESPN and the NFL Network, were talking about them going to get a quarterback. I don't know if there's a quarterback I'm going to go get, unless I'm trading for a proven veteran.
So they're talking about drafting or trading for?
Drafting for a quarterback now that they've got these first-round picks. Boy, I wouldn't do it that way at all.
I don't want to be drafting quarterback next year. It seems like a crapshoot.
Yeah, it really does. Well, I mean, we haven't seen how this season plays out. I mean, at the end of the season, you could be like, dude, Arch Manning, went past the hype.
Yeah, but unless it's an automatic, I'd rather go do what you did last time you did all this. And now they did get a quarterback in Troy Aikman with one of those great picks, but they loaded up with.
And they didn't miss on those picks. It's like the Rams, when they traded for Matt Stafford and they said, F those picks, the thing you've got to do, like the Cowboys did, is you've got to execute and you've got to properly evaluate and make those picks count.
In consecutive drafts, they picked Michael Irvin, Troy Aikman, and Emmitt Smith.
Yeah, I mean, that's amazing.
I mean, who does that?
Yeah, and but flipping back to the Packers, who have done a good job drafting, they got their Haley, who they got from the 49ers, the Cowboys did. This is who they just got in Micah Parsons, a guy who can come in.
If he's as crazy as Charles Haley,
be upset. I'd be looking. If he's sitting in the back of the film room, I'd be looking back there like, "Hey, you may want to sit up front."
You think that helmet could have killed Jerry Jones?
I mean, it dented the wall and broke the sheetrock.
It's stuck in the sheetrock.
Yeah, stuck in the sheetrock.
No, absolutely. All right, so that's NFL. Back to college football. We do it with our pick 3, and of course, as we always remember, Rockstar. This is the pick 3 song.
He didn't die.
I know.
Pick 3. It's
always love his
time
voice.
for the pick 3. 3 for you and 3 for me. That equals a pick 3. Say goodbye to your family. It's time for the pick 3. Only time that I'm happy is when it's time for pick 3.
Hey, and big news, football is back, so is the pick 6 from our friends at Buffalo Wild Wings, $19.99. This is the ultimate meal for 2. 2 entrees, 2 sides, 2 drinks. Pack 6 meal for 2 is available at participating locations for a limited time. Stop at one of those great locations for all of the football action all weekend long from our friends at Buffalo Wild Wings.
Brownie, you have some interesting news?
I was just telling you, we had an issue on the website, Jim, with the pick 3. It is now up. Brooks and Sarah doing tremendous work back there. Brooks, nextroundlive.com/pick3, right? Or you can just go to the homepage and there's a link right there.
He's giving you a thumbs up. We're having microphone issues with Brooks. You missed that earlier in the show.
I got it.
Oh, we got the mic now? Okay.
Yeah, just go to the contest section. It's on the homepage.
All right. Thank you, Brooks.
Contest section, but is it also on the main page when you open it up?
Yes, it is.
Okay, there we go.
Yes,
Just
it is. And it's working
just
perfectly right
Brought
now.
to you by our friends at Buffalo Wild Wings. It's good to go play. Lance, do you have your pick?
I've got my picks, yeah.
Okay, and we'll say Brooks and Forrester to after trash. What's your 3 plays?
I am rolling with Ole Miss minus 34.5.
Big
I
number.
think they come out, they establish Austin Simmons is what they believe is going to be not even a drop-off from Jackson Dart. So it's a big number against Georgia State, but lay it. I've got Georgia Southern. This thing is flipped. We've talked about it. Fresno has not looked good. E.J. Warner, not a big fan. I think Georgia Southern goes in there and pops them pretty good, double-digit win. And then I'm taking the Hurricanes like you. I like Miami plus 2.5. I think Carson Beck plays extremely well against Notre Dame. And again, going back to it, Notre Dame has lost 6 straight in Miami versus the Canes. Marcus Freeman covering machine at 13-3 last year. But I like Mario Cristobal in this one.
But it's, I mean, we've got Carson Beck versus redshirt freshman C.J. Carr.
It's a mismatch. But it's almost a coaching mismatch. I mean, Marcus Freeman to Mario Cristobal.
I see what you're saying. Again, nextroundlive.com. That's the official place for you to play. Nextroundlive.com all the way up until 11 o'clock. So about 24 hours for you to go get your picks there. Plenty of time. Nextroundlive.com, nextroundlive.com. That's a live look. You are looking live at our website. Forrester has pulled it up right there. A live scroll. A lot of green and gold. I didn't know those were the official colors there.
Best green and gold in Birmingham, you said.
Yeah, best green and gold in Birmingham. There's the nextroundlive.com. Go play that, the pick 3, Buffalo Wild Wings. We use this to talk about other games, and I want to do this, okay, because you guys throw a lot of stats on sheets of paper. Sometimes we don't get to them. So I'm not going to fake spin a wheel like you do sometimes on the show. I'm just going to go one at a time. You tell me a game you want to talk about and tell me something about that game and why you want to talk about it. Lance, you first. Pick a game, any game, maybe one we haven't talked about yet. Maybe there's something you want to talk about with Georgia State and Ole Miss like you just did, or Cal, Oregon State, anything. Utah, UCLA. Give me any game you want, something you haven't gotten out yet on the air this week that you wanted to get out.
Let's go Texas, Ohio State. How about this?
We've not talked about that game.
Texas, the first SEC team not named Alabama or Georgia to be number 1 in the preseason since 2009 with the Florida Gators. And this is a little known that nobody really talks about. Texas last year had 26 turnovers. Woo. That was 5th most in the FBS.
Not in the SEC, 5th most in the FBS.
And still were able to get to the postseason in advance. Do you think they have more or less turnovers this year with Arch Manning? Quinn Ewers was a veteran quarterback that went back 3 years as a starting quarterback.
I would say less, but why am I saying this about Arch Manning? Like, now we're in the part of the cycle where everybody's talking me into Arch Manning not being good. Like, I've thought Arch Manning, I picked him to win the national championship. I thought Arch Manning's going to be good. Now the Jesse Palmers of the world are like, why are we, or no, it wasn't Jesse Palmer. Who was
Jordan.
it? Jordan Rodgers. Jordan Rodgers of the world saying, why are we saying this guy's going to be good? I mean, what has this guy shown us that he's going to be good? So
technically,
you know what's crazy? It's 26 turnovers, 5th most. But they had 31 takeaways, so they were still +5 in turnover margin last year.
Cut number 9, Tyler, if you will, Arch Manning here on his excitement of having a target on their back because the hype has been so real. Here is Arch.
Yeah, I'm excited. I mean, this is what I've been waiting for. Spent 2 years not playing, so might as well go have some fun, right?
What do you like most about road environments?
I liked how it's just kind of you versus everyone, or your team versus everyone. So it's just us out there, and you don't have to worry about anything else besides just playing ball.
Are you mentally prepared to have that huge X on your back all season long where everybody is going to be coming for you?
I mean, I think that's all of us at Texas, and I think we kind of try to shift the narrative. We're going for everyone else. Target's not on our back. We have the red dot on everyone else.
Oh, the red dot. I like that.
Yeah.
We got the red dot on everybody else.
Terminator.
That's right.
Target's so old. So such an old thing. Target.
Yeah, we got the red dot. We're snipers.
Right attitude. They do carry the history mark of being it started out, I know the betting market has changed, but they were the first number 1 team ever to open up as an underdog in their opening game. That is saying something. That's flipped a little bit.
I know you brought up this stat, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago maybe, but quarterbacks making their first career start against AP number 1 teams, 0-18 all time.
Yeah, and that's what Julian Saying is having to do on the other side.
But, at the same time, you got Arch making first road start against his first ranked team. So, this is real deal for both of them.
Less than 24 hours from this game, though,
That's
by the way.
crazy.
Just a little excitement.
And just real quick, for those that have missed it earlier in the show today, Ohio State's been a 2.5 point favorite all summer long. And over the last 24 hours, Texas is favored now in some places. It's a pick 'em at mybookie.ag, but you can get Texas favored.
I always thought that was the smart money that moved it that much
Well,
late.
okay, so you would get like a Billy Waters, like these guys that are very
Billy.
Yeah, very well respected that could actually move, a number by themselves when they go in and put a couple of $1 million on a side. But you heard Fuhrman talk about it, man. This is all volume of tickets. And he mentioned the fact DraftKings, that's kind of a novice market.
Yeah, he did say there was one six-figure play on Texas, on Texas that had a big impact yesterday when it was all the way Texas favored by 1.5 at one point.
Was it Mattress King?
Mattress Max? He is in Texas.
He is in Texas.
All right. Before Brownie tells us the game he wants to talk about, CPAP Plus, as we continue with our pick 3. Tell us about CPAP Plus. Good night's sleep. If you need a little help, CPAP Plus
I
can
don't know
make
if you guys got a chance to see Joe O'Neill and his wife last night.
Yep. I missed it, but Sleep Home Alabama, boys.
Yeah, sleephomealabama.com. That is the website. It is the easiest sleep test out there because you can do it at home. You don't have to deal with the lab. You don't have to deal with the insurance. $199 gets you absolutely everything. It's Alabama's best home sleep testing and CPAP. CPAP Plus, 5 locations throughout Alabama: Birmingham, Trussville, Pelham, Foley, Troy. No lab, just easy-to-wear fingertip devices, clinically validated that connect to your smartphone, complete with the physician's interpretation of your results. Again, for more information on the best home sleep testing and CPAP, sleephomealabama.com.
Brownie, pick a game.
This is going to be a bit off the board here, but there's a reason I want to bring this up.
These are the ones I like, Brownie.
Oh, do you now? I want to talk about New Mexico and Michigan. That is the NBC game, believe it or not, 6:30, showing you how bad the Week 1 Big Ten schedule is. That the NBC Prime game is going to be New Mexico at Michigan. Kirk Herbstreit said earlier on ESPN that the game day show will be in Norman, Oklahoma for Michigan at Oklahoma next week. So game day is going there for Week 2. And I wonder how Michigan handles Bryce Underwood here, Lance. You want to get him a lot of confidence. You want to get him in a flow. You don't want to leave him in the game too long. You don't want him out of the game too early. Do you want to show Oklahoma a lot of what he does? I think it's interesting to see how Sherrone Moore handles this.
Yeah, and it's a big number. I mean, true freshman Bryce Underwood, who is getting the hype for Underwood would be a lot more if it wasn't for Arch Manning. Like, I don't think we're talking enough about Underwood. I think he's going to be tremendous. You heard Klatt talking earlier this week about competition, Detroit, inner city schools, not nearly as high as some of these other quarterbacks that are coming out from around the country. I think he's going to be fantastic. 38 straight wins he's coming into right now. This will be 39, and then it gets real next week in Norman.
Yeah.
Yep. And that gets us to Alabama and Auburn. We'll go Auburn first. Tonight, 7 o'clock on Fox. We've talked about it a couple of times throughout the show and all summer long. Cut number 4, Tyler. Here's Damari Alston on maybe the most improved part of the Auburn team this offseason. Not quarterback, not the running back room, not wide receivers, but that O-line.
Oh, yeah, I got no doubt at all. We lean on the run game, At away games, you got to come in and run the ball. You feel me? Pass blocking, run blocking. I feel like we good up front. We're going to take care of business for sure.
So early in that game, if you're looking for a weakness in that contest for Auburn, what that offensive line looks like against a Dave Aranda defense, and how can they protect Jackson Arnold, who had zero protection last year?
Well, look, embarrassing. Yeah, I mean, we talk about how bad the offensive line was. He didn't have skill. All of his guys were banged up. But 5.8 yards per pass attempt last year for Jackson Arnold. That's almost impossible.
It's terrible. Yeah,
it really is. Now, on the other side, you look at this Aranda defense. They gave up 152 rushing yards per game. So Damari is going to have his opportunities, and to take pressure off of Jackson Arnold. This first start for the Auburn Tigers on the road, they're going to need to run the football effectively. But I think they can against this defense.
Oklahoma. This is almost impossible to believe. Oklahoma allowed 50 sacks last year, 5-0. Which was worst in the SEC by 9 sacks. Like, the next closest one was South Carolina at 41, which, by the way, how many sacks did Lenore Sellers get out of and still got sacked. South Carolina
that's
still
why
got 41.
I don't think it's fair, like these Jackson Arnold numbers and what he looked like last year. And, there's a lot of people that are just kind of crapping on Jackson Arnold right now. But I just, we haven't seen a true opportunity for Jackson Arnold, and he'll have that now.
My point is, Auburn gave up 27. I mean, they gave up half the sacks Oklahoma did. So just by last year's numbers, Jackson Arnold has much more time to throw the football.
This Auburn offensive line should be better you bring in what you've brought in at the tackle
this
spots.
is a better Auburn line than it was last year. So Jackson Arnold, whether he can get this or not, he's going to have more time to throw than he's ever had as a college quarterback. That much I am willing to say for him.
We will talk Alabama, Florida State in our next segment, trash and the rest of our pick 3. One more thing before we get to break here. And then LT will tell us about New York Butcher, and Brownie will tell us about Breakline. This is not breaking news, but Jimbo Fisher is no longer part of the college football scene. Second year he'll be missing after coaching at Texas A&M. But his fingerprints are not missing. This I got from the Dusty and Danny show, Dusty Dvorak, Danny Cannell on Sirius XM, that came to them through an SEC network producer whose name I don't remember. But there are actually 6 former Jimbo Fisher Texas A&M quarterbacks that are either playing or dressing this weekend in college football.
Okay, so let's
outside of Texas A&M.
So
None
Haynes
of the
King,
Texas A&M room. Haynes King is one.
Zach Calzada
is 2.
There's one you're not going to get. There's a tricky one.
There's one that's off the beaten path.
Yeah, he had forgotten that Connor Wegman is starting at
Connor Wegman at Houston is actually starter. So
Yep.
those 3 are starters. Mac Johnson is a former Texas A&M and LSU guy.
North
Carolina backup. I'll give you the one you won't remember. West Virginia quarterback. He's not the starter, but he's in the room with Rich Rod. May play eventually this year. Jalen Henderson. And then number 6, he started out as a Texas A&M quarterback recruit.
Which I didn't know this.
Transferred to Vanderbilt as
Eli
a tight end. To Vanderbilt as a tight end.
Yeah.
So 6 former Jimbo Fisher Texas A&M quarterbacks. None of them in Texas A&M uniforms anymore. Still dressing in 5 quarterback rooms and a tight end room this weekend.
Marcel Reed, I assume, was a Fisher recruit. So, I mean, you could have 7 total. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong about that.
Yeah, he was.
I mean, he was playing last year. He wasn't a true freshman, so I'm assuming Jimbo signed him.
Yeah.
That's pretty
insanity.
nuts.
That's nuts.
It is. I was amazed by that listening on my drive in this morning. And then, as Brown says, who even sits there and then thinks of that?
Yeah, let me find all the Jimbo Fisher quarterbacks.
To even search that.
I think when you get to 3, you're like, damn, is there more out there?
Not to compliment anybody on hiring anybody, but I've known Brooks a long time, and he used to send me DMs and stuff about the show when he wasn't part of the show.
Is he still going to do that?
Well, hopefully he just does it without DMing me.
Just tells you to your
but
face
he
now?
has one of those minds.
Right.
Brooks does that thinks of weird crap like that I just don't think of. How many I would think. I knew, I'd forgotten Haynes King
was a
Jimbo
Fisher,
Texas A&M, right?
Well, it feels like he's been at Georgia Tech forever, honestly.
I knew Calzada.
Yeah.
And I knew Max Johnson, but I sort of remembered him more at LSU. But then, there was Texas A&M.
Yeah.
But there are special minds that think weird like that.
Mm-hmm. Well, we talk about all the time Elias. Some of the stats they come up with, they're like, why were you even looking for that? What made you look for that?
Yeah. How many times has the Mets
laid
down a bunt in the 7th inning of night games?
Why are we doing this?
What are you doing in your life?
You know what's crazy? Because I have dug for some of those stats before. It takes forever to get it, and it's fun to look at. But for hours of research, you get that one little clip.
It burns pretty quick after that. Yeah.
But what's worse is you think you're onto it, and you start searching it, and it's like
you hit a dead
doesn't
end.
pan out.
Yeah. It's like a murder mystery. I hit a dead end there.
All right, that's it's a little bit more of our pick 3. We'll do more pick 3 minus the song after trash. We'll get the picks from Brooks and Forrester to wrap up our panel, so we can keep playing the fun game all season long. As we head to break here, tell us about our friends at New York Butcher Shop.
Our man Jim came out last night. It was great catching up with him.
I missed Jim last night.
Yep. He hung out, had a couple of cold Bud Lights with us. Just a great guy. Fantastic staff of butchers. Both locations, the original Cava Heights, Highway 119 in Greystone, from the fresh meats, the deli sandwiches. Our friend Sarah was hyping up those deli sandwiches last night. Fantastic selection of fine wines and desserts. Rare quality, well-done service. Get into one of those 2 locations of the New York Butcher Shop.
And Cleve, our guy from Brickline Optics, was there as well. Gave away some sunglasses, and a lot of our audience were in there looking at these great Breakline sunglasses. They'd heard us talk about them. Cleve was like, man, just put them on and see what you think. Walk around a little while. And people were leaving with them. He's got some new customers there because they have seen what we tell you. Breakline Optics look great. They fit great. They're lightweight. They are built to last. We took these lenses out in the parking lot behind our building. We hammered them with a rubber mallet into that asphalt. Could not break them. Couldn't break them. We tried. That's what you get from Breakline Optics. It is a Birmingham-based company operating nationally, so you're buying local when you buy from Breakline. BreaklineOptics.com to see more and use code TNR30 for 30% off when you buy at Breakline Optics. 30% off with code TNR30, BreaklineOptics.com. That's BreaklineOptics.com.
Follow LT on Twitter @TheLanceTaylor.
Have you been injured in an 18-wheeler accident, company truck accident, car accident, or work-related accident? Call Alabama's largest personal injury firm. Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys will fight for every dollar you deserve, and it won't cost you a dime. Trust me. What do you say, man?
Call me, Alabama.
Call 659-777-7777 or go to Shinara.com.
No representation made that the legal services provided are better than legal services provided by other attorneys.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090. Next Round shirts, Next Round hoodies, and Next Round hats all in one place, nextround.store. Find your favorite piece of gear from your favorite show and put it in your rotation. You never know, you might be in one of our videos showing Next Round gear being worn all over the world. Find all of your favorite Next Round gear by visiting nextround.store. Place an order for you and that big Next Round fan in your life at nextround.store. Look your best at work, at school, at the stadium, or anywhere you go wearing Next Round gear from nextround.store.
What are you waiting for? It's non-stop gaming action at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Come play more than 900 of the latest and greatest games around, featuring fun bonuses and big jackpots. You can wager and win on horse and greyhound races from all over the world. There are more ways to win at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Birmingham Racecourse Casino, located off I-459, exit 31, Derby Parkway. Must be 21 or older.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on the Next Round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at the Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000.
Never miss anything from the Next Round when you listen on demand through the podcast platform of your choice. Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcasts. Wherever you listen, always like, follow, subscribe, and turn on automatic downloads so you catch every part of the Next Round. Listen anywhere in the world at any time on the Next Round podcast feed and support the show by following, subscribing, and turning on automatic downloads on any podcast platform. Thanks for always making the Next Round a big part of your day.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between 2 warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
Excited about the Auburn game tonight, the Bama game tomorrow, and all the other big games. But it's always good to see the two teams that are closest to our studios for the first game, because we talk about those first games for so much. And really cool that they're both happening separate days this year. 7 o'clock tonight on main Fox, and that Fox YouTube thing is cleared up, so no worries tonight for that. Charlesa is one of our great female listeners back to our radio days. She's traveling the world, and she's in Oxford, England, so she didn't make it to the kickoff party last night. She would have been there, but she's in Oxford, England, but it has got an SEC flavor. She says, take a look at the covering on the toilet paper here at the Graduate Hotel in Oxford, England.
Oh, is that Toomer's Corner?
Yeah.
That's interesting. It's, first of all, I didn't know they had graduate hotels.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Overseas.
I don't know if she says that's just the toilet paper cover in her hotel. She didn't tell me it was a graduate hotel.
Oh.
In a hotel in Oxford, England. But that is from a graduate hotel.
I could see it getting shipped to the wrong Oxford. Dang it. We sent it to England, not Mississippi.
But that's pretty cool. The tradition really cool. Across the pond there. Thank you, Charlesa, for sending that to us. This final segment of the show being brought to you in part today by the wonderful folks at Central State Bank.
Yeah, good to see them last night out at the kickoff party. It is a community bank. They were out there celebrating the start of football season with their community. That's what you get with Central State Bank. You want a bank that actually gets you? Central State Bank is that bank. More than accounts and transactions, they're really about people. 6 locations across Shelby County. They've got the one in Alexander City as well, right where you need them to be. If you're running a business, buying your dream car, just want a bank that remembers your name, Central State Bank has you covered. For more than 100 years, they've built trust by staying true to what matters. Personal service, local decisions, lasting relationships. Large enough to serve you, small enough to know you, because they're rooted in community and driven by relationships. That is Central State Bank, member FDIC.
All right, Texas wide receiver Emmett Mosley expected to be limited against Ohio State. Look for redshirt freshman Parker Livingstone to contribute significantly and potentially get his first career start. Mosley's unlikely to start or play a significant amount of snaps. That from Pete Thamel on the ground there in Columbus. Livingstone, 0 career catches, but have been catching a lot of buzz this spring. Mosley is a Stanford transfer who led ACC freshman with 48 receptions last year, 6 touchdowns. So maybe a little dent to the Arch Manning receiving core, or maybe just the buzz receiver from the offseason. The redshirt freshman is going to get more snaps because of that injury. Funny how things work out for Texas there for that. Let's see, Alabama, as they get ready for Florida State. Give me cut 1 and 2 if we can. 1 and 3. I don't want to hear from Mike Norvell. Let's go Ty Simpson first, Alabama quarterback. If I say the biggest question mark about this team at Alabama, without a doubt, it's quarterback, right?
It probably is, but, I want to bring this up, and Kalen DeBoer talked about it yesterday. When you look at now 3 offensive coordinators in that quarterback room, when you look at Nick Sheridan, quarterback's coach, offensive coordinator last year, Ryan Grubb coming back, and Kalen DeBoer, a former offensive coordinator in himself, but go back the last 2 years of their Washington tenure together. Michael Penix threw for over 9,500 yards and 67 touchdowns. Like, when Grubb and DeBoer are together calling plays, quarterbacks thrive.
Yeah, I saw Bruce Feldman retweet a piece this morning that he had written about Grubb, that going back to the Washington days when he was still in the college game before he stayed at Seattle, that described his offenses as more high-level than almost any other offense, that it's high-level stuff that he is running. That was his reputation at Washington, explosive high-level offenses. Can he replicate that in Tuscaloosa? We don't know. We'll find out starting Saturday.
I feel, when Tom Allen had his couple of years at Indiana, Kalen DeBoer was all over it. You look at Jake Haener in Fresno State, Kalen DeBoer, Michael Penix, Kalen DeBoer. The best, we'll give the best of Jalen Milroe credit for Kalen DeBoer. How about that? But I think Ty Simpson, it is a question mark because obviously this kid's never started the game, but I think he's going to be just fine.
Yeah, here is Ty Simpson about his potential and the potential of this offense and the potential of this football team.
Yeah, I mean, we can be as good as we want to be. It all just depends on, just doing our assignment and making sure that, we control our box and, keep the main thing the main thing. Coach Saban used to say that all the time, not look at the scoreboard and just make sure that, hey, we need to do what the task at hand is and not worry about everything else, not be outcome oriented, So I think if we just focus on, the main thing and the right things, that it'll take us as far as we need to go.
So Ty Simpson getting his first start. Thomas Castellanos has more starts, cut 3, Tyler, but they were at Boston College. He's done a lot of off-season talking. So is Thomas Castellanos out to prove anything? Here's the guy who's going to try to pull the upset of the weekend and beat Alabama.
Really not trying to prove anything. I just want to go out here and play ball and have the opportunity to lead, Florida State. I think I said it the other day. Like I'm blessed. I look back to where I came from and where I'm at now. I'm like, I'm starting quarterback at Florida State. That means a lot to me, and I have to represent and do the best that I can to not just for this team and my teammates and coaches, stuff like that, but like previous players that allowed us to be here today, and built this thing up. So my job is to be here now is just to try to get this thing back to where Florida State football used to be. And that's my biggest goal. I'm not trying to prove anybody to do this for me or do anything like that. I just want to go out there and play football, have fun with the guys, and win.
Boy, a lot more humble as he gets closer to the kickoff.
I was about to say July, Thomas Castellanos would not recognize August.
I still, it's a confident kid. 11-9 as a starting quarterback at Boston College. He's going to have more skill around him. Now, a lot of that skill, Javon Boggs is a true freshman. Now, it's a kid that had 99 grabs as a senior last year. 2,133 receiving yards as a senior and 24 touchdowns as a senior receiver.
2,000 receiving yards in high school?
Yep. So this is a kid that almost 100 grabs, averaged over 20 yards per grab. But then you bring in Deuce Robinson from USC. He's one of the biggest receivers in football at 6'6". And then you also bring in Squirrel White, who can kind of do it all, kind of a Eric Singleton light.
Yeah.
But you've got weapons for Florida State. I don't know if it all comes together against a defense that finished 10th in scoring defense last year at 17.4 points per game, the lowest Alabama has given up since way back in 2017.
2:30 main ABC tomorrow, and of course on the Crimson Tide Sports Network with our buddies Chris Stewart and Tyler Watts. Should be a lot of fun. And Corey Reamer on the sidelines. I don't know if they finally announced.
Oh, I didn't know Corey was on the sidelines.
Yeah, Corey. I played golf with Corey a couple of weeks ago, and he said, "Did Dunaway tell you I'm doing sidelines for Bama this year?" And I was like, Dunaway did not tell me.
Yeah, I try to keep good secrets.
I know. I said, Jim, you could trust Jim with your secrets, Corey. He did not tell me. I said, well, we'll bring it up on the show. He goes, oh, that's why Jim didn't tell you. We hadn't announced it yet.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
Well, I hopefully they've announced it by now. Yeah.
This was several weeks ago when Corey and I played golf together, and he said, we're announcing it on Hey Coach. I think he said next week, so it should have been one of the previous Hey Coaches.
Love me some Corey Reamer.
He's the best, man.
Yeah, I had him
Reamer's
on the
dude.
show when you both were off.
Yep.
And
that must have been when he told you.
On your last vacation. No, I'd found out before that, which made me want to put him on. Not that I wanted to break it on here, but I knew Corey was going to be dialed in on everything going on in camp because of his new role, and he was a great hit. And hopefully we can have him back on a couple of times throughout the football season. Just such a good guy. That gets us to trash. Hemphill brings you part of trash today. Great folks there, and keep this in mind about Hemphill. And I don't know if we talk about this enough. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. They got a hotline. You can call them up. So if you got something that's going wrong with your heating, your cooling, or something that's backed up like a toilet, they are on standby anytime.
205-229-2090. Trust the name. Birmingham has trusted since 1954 for all of your plumbing, heating, and cooling issues. 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com.
After the break, we're going to interview Eric Weihenmayer, who climbed the highest mountain in the world, Mount Everest. But he's gay. He's blind.
LT's Trash is presented by Bud Light.
Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Weekend is here. Get you some delicious Bud Light. I think we drank walk-ons out of Bud Light last night, but we appreciate all of our friends from Adams and Bud Light coming out and hanging out with us last night. I have never had Arizona iced tea. Have you guys?
Oh, yeah. Arizona makes, they've got a good Arnold Palmer.
Arnold Palmer.
I don't know why I pronounced it that way, Jim. I really don't. They got a good Arnold Palmer Arizona tea.
Well, they've got a new flavor they're introducing to their lineup, and it comes with a internet twist. Company confirmed it's partnering with social media personality The Rizzler to release Rizzberry, a new iced tea flavor. Is that the Rizzler?
Yeah.
That is the Rizzler.
All right. So this kid just walks around and talks Riz to girls older than him, huh? For video.
Have you heard of the Costco guys?
I have not.
Oh, it's just some dude who reviews Costco food items, and then everything gets 5 big booms. And it's very popular, and this guy is on their videos a lot.
How many food items does Costco have? It's like
more
pizza,
than you would think.
churro.
Costco's got everything.
I went to my
Hot
first
dog.
Costco ever in Hawaii, and I didn't even know where to stop. It was just all over the place. So, yeah, you would have plenty to review at Costco.
Is it like stuff you can buy in there or just stuff at their lunch counter?
I think both. I think it started off as
that
lunch
makes more
counter,
sense.
and
Yeah.
then they expanded.
On the can, does he look like the kid from King of the Hill?
Yes, he does.
Yeah, he does look like Bobby Hill.
Not as much real life, but yeah, on the can.
Okay, like all of Arizona's iconic tall cans, the Rizzberry will sell for 99 cents. Seems like pretty good value.
Yeah.
Sticking with the brand's decades-long promise to keep prices low despite inflation. Now, the new flavor, officially called Arizona 2Z's Rizzler Berry, will be available in the company's signature 23-ounce cans. Company announced the Rizzberry flavor on social media, posting a photo of the Rizzler that you see right there alongside the Arizona chemist holding the can.
Morgan is right in the chat room as I remember the story. Arizona tea has never changed their prices. Or they haven't done it in like 30 years. They're 99 cents. That's what they kind of build their brand around.
Doesn't sound like a great business model, but hey, if it works for them.
It's a cheap price.
I would say this, no disparaging to nobody, anywhere, any product, anything.
Okay,
I think it's impossible to package tea. Tea just doesn't taste good in a can, in a bottle.
I'll tell you, I got up in the middle of the night to do my, 2 a.m., 3 a.m. meal. Last night it was just cold cut salamis.
Yep.
But we had a jug of the tea from Bojangles. And I poured me a glass of that sweet tea in the middle of the night.
Okay,
Probably not great for sleep.
Probably not.
But it was
that's
fantastic.
Because that's jugged.
Plastic jug.
Right, and it's jugged there.
Yeah.
And
No, I see what you're saying.
I'm talking about like in a can.
I've had the Arizona tea. It does pick up the can flavor a
Yeah,
little bit. is what
there
you're
are
saying,
certain beverages, like I think beer in styrofoam cups is awful.
Oh, yeah.
You can't do it. I think in a Stein it's not good, like a steel Stein, stainless.
I don't know if I've ever had that.
Tea in that.
Germany?
No, I'm just. Have you never really had a Stein?
I've never had a Stein of anything.
Okay.
Like the teas you get like in a bottle inside stores, those are hard to duplicate and make those taste good. Yeah, I think it's something about what the sugar does and as it just sits there. I don't know.
So here is the story that you teased on our tender moment earlier. Bill Belichick, Jordan Hudson, business empire is expanding. Legendary football coach, his company, TCE Rights Management LLC, which is managed by, of course, his girlfriend, Jordan Hudson. It's a good pick, I heard.
Is it?
She's got a little Katy Perry in that one.
Does she?
Yep. To me, she does. You don't see Katy Perry in there?
Is that a compliment or an insult?
I would say that's a compliment.
Okay.
Yeah. I didn't mean it as an insult. No.
Let me ask you this. If he is an insurance salesman, is she standing there?
That would be a negative.
Well, it is managed by girlfriend, Jordan Hudson. They filed a trademark to the term gold digger, according to sports business reporter Darren Ravel. Now, the company intends to use the mark on jewelry and keychains. Per Ravel, company reportedly filed for 17 different trademarks earlier this year, including Chapel Bill, Bellustrator, Trail of Salty Tears, No Days Off, and the Belichick Way, among others. 73-year-old Belichick, 24-year-old Hudson, apparently comfortable poking fun at their wide age gap. Now, Hudson brought 3 multifamily homes across the Boston area in December of 2023 for about $7.5 million. A few months earlier, she dropped $610,000 on a cottage in a scenic Cape Cod town, and her real estate holdings are around $8 million right now.
If anybody holds the trademark for gold digger, it's got to be Kanye, right? I know he didn't invent the phrase, but he probably made it more famous than anyone else.
Great tune with Jamie Foxx.
Yeah.
But does she have to pay him? Or
she's trying to get the trademark.
Yeah, okay.
Apparently, Kanye does not own any sort of... I mean, he owns copyrights to that song, but not trademark to the phrase.
I believe that's correct.
But when you hear the phrase gold digger, what is the first thing that's going off in your mind?
Don't use all the lyrics.
Don't use all the lyrics.
Give me money.
Don't use all the lyrics.
Yeah. Well, I will tell you, Bill's not broke.
He is not.
Look, he's wearing all the rings. I didn't even notice that.
Did you not? Yeah. It's a heavy hand.
She doesn't do it for me. I know you guys.
I'm not. No,
I just said that. I said that is one of the
the
best pictures I've seen of her.
I just think there's a little Katy Perry in that picture.
I think that's pretty strong for Belichick, though.
Yeah, I mean,
very strong.
She does not do it for me, but if, like Lance said, if you ran into Belichick at Publix, you would not expect to see that on his arm.
Yeah,
right?
I didn't see a lot of that running around at walk-ons last night.
Belichick or the girl?
Either. I don't know if the oldest guy there was older or younger than Belichick.
Well, I may have been the oldest guy there, especially listening to you talk sometimes. She looks like a cutout there. She doesn't even look like a real person.
I kind of agree.
Yeah.
Well, he does too, really. It's like you're posing with a wax figure.
Yeah, he does look wax, and yeah she looks more, I don't know,
She's got a
photoshopped.
flat face, but okay, I picked her apart. Let's go on.
Wow.
I would say. Yeah. I mean, Gio Lopez won't pick apart a defense better than he did that.
So a massive brown bear stormed a popular California ice cream parlor, raided the tasting counter, zeroing in on one particular flavor. The prowler, nicknamed Fuzzy, wandered into the ice cream shop at Camp Richardson in South Lake Tahoe around 4 a.m. on Sunday and somehow found himself behind the checkout counter hunting for a sweet treat. According to the sheriff's office, deputies responded to the shocking scene and, quote, could barely believe their eyes.
Barely.
Yeah, very good. The furry intruder eventually left with some encouragement, but only after feasting on a tub of strawberry ice cream. I do like strawberry ice cream.
Strawberry ice cream's good, yeah. Do you like it when you get those chunks of strawberry in it? Like the smaller ones, not the big ones. I don't like a big chunk, but a little taste of the actual strawberry? Or do you just like it to be pure and creamy?
I like the pure and creamy a little bit better, but I don't mind the strawberry. But
I like flakes. I don't like big. I don't like them because they get frozen sometimes.
Yeah,
I don't want them to be ice blocks.
there is. I would agree 100% with you.
When we talked about random flavors the other day, I brought up the salty caramel from Jenny's, and you brought up the peach with the biscuit.
Yeah,
that's become my new favorite.
Peach with the biscuit.
Yeah, it is so freaking good, and they've got the little pieces of the peach in it.
It feels like you're not going overboard with the ice cream because you got the flakiness of the biscuit and peaches in it. It's like, yeah,
So
this is fine.
freaking
It's
good.
fine if I eat this entire thing of ice cream.
than the ice cream.
How do you feel like you're not going overboard when you're eating ice cream that's got biscuits in it?
Because it's
That's
not
like
loaded with chocolate
it's the
and caramel
it's
and
the definition
candy.
of overboard.
My throat
it's
needs
just a
ice
middle
cream. I'm
thing.
getting some ice cream today or tomorrow.
Death, taxes, and Burmese pythons in the Everglades. I mean, it seems like a story that we bring up at least once a quarter here on Trash on the Table. But they have come up with a new way that they are going to hunt and control the invasive Burmese pythons.
That's not a live rabbit, is it?
Latest effort
I don't think it is.
by the
Joe.
South Florida Water Management District to eliminate as many pythons as possible from the Everglades. They have decided to roll this out. And this is 120 robot rabbits. The University of Florida researchers, they are going to deploy these as an experiment. Previously, there was an effort to use live rabbits as snake lures that became too expensive and too time consuming. Now the robots are simply toy rabbits, but retrofitted to emit heat, a smell, and to make natural movements to appear like any other regular rabbit. Now, according to Mike Kirkland, who is part of the University of Florida researchers, quote, they look like a real rabbit. They're solar powered, can be switched off and on remotely. They are placed in small pens monitored by a video camera that sends out a signal when a python is nearby. So they say a female python can lay between 50 and 100 eggs at a time with a gestation period about 60 to 90 days. Since 2000, more than 23,000 of the snakes have been removed from the Everglades. That is nuts.
You can't keep up.
Yeah, like I think you get lost in the glades. Like, are you more worried about the gators now or the pythons?
Well, some of these Burmese pythons will eat the gators because they're running out of food. That's how bad the Burmese python situation's gotten down there.
Tastes like chicken, by the way. I've had gator.
The gator or the python?
Gator. I've never had I ain't eating python.
I don't know what it would do to our ecosystem, and I'm almost like drop a bomb on the glades and see what happens.
It would probably hurt the ecosystem. If I had to guess. I don't know.
Reason number 1012. I'm never voting for him for president.
Where are we dropping a bomb in the Mideast?
Oh, just
no, the Everglades.
Yeah. I don't know what's going to happen.
There's 20,000 of those things.
No. We've removed 23. That's how many we've caught and removed.
Yeah, God only knows how many there are. And I literally mean only God knows.
Yeah, you guys have probably seen the AIs of all the pythons on like river banks and stuff. I mean, it can't be real.
Yeah, but if we've killed 23,000, we probably haven't killed 10% of them.
Well, 23,000, half are females, right? If they're laying 100 eggs per pop,
they're not natural to the Everglades. So it all started because Florida man put one out in the Everglades, and then somebody put another one, and boom.
Thought it was a good idea to buy one of these as a pet.
Yeah, it should be legal.
And now they're eating all the birds and some of the gators there.
Yeah.
And small little dogs eventually, and small little people eventually.
And humans, yes.
Yeah. Horrible. That's Trash Today, brought to you by our friends at Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. And our Buffalo Wild Wings pick 3 from the guys on the back row. We bring in the ABC 3340 part of our show. The alumni of Jeff Spiegel and the guys, Mike Rada and the guys on the back. Brooks, why don't you start us off, and we'll save our champion for last year's champ. Brooks, give us your pick 3 for the weekend.
I'm going to go South Carolina minus 7.5, Toledo plus 9.5, and Mississippi State minus 13.5.
You notice what he did. Brooks has learned very quickly. He went against the Brown Bandit and Dunaway's upset alert. He took State.
He took Toledo.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. You went against the Brown Bandit?
Yeah. And you went with the landmine?
You knew Hires will learn one of these days.
Rookie.
Well, I actually wanted to pick Toledo in my upset alert earlier this week, but I just decided to be different and went with Coastal Carolina. I didn't want to pick the same thing as everybody else.
Yeah, smart. You don't want to do that on the first week.
Yeah, you don't want to be like Lance and Forrester and get a winner the first week.
Go with Jim.
All right. Last year, Forrester, I'm told, won this. Is that correct, Forrester?
You won the pick 3 too?
No, I won upset alert.
I thought I won the pick 3.
Yeah, they didn't do pick 3 last year.
I think I won the pick 3 last year. I think I did. We'll go back and look at the scoreboard. When we get to it next week. We'll let you know who won it last year. May have been me. So we started with the champion. We'll end with Sucky Forrester. Forrester, who's your pick?
Thank you.
Who's your pick 3?
Love you. All right, I went very bird themed here.
Oh, we got a theme.
Look at this AI.
Oh, okay.
You got them all together in one picture. How'd you do that, Scott?
I wonder what you're doing during the show sometimes. Now I know.
All right, we're going UTSA plus 23.5.
Like it.
At Texas A&M.
Okay.
Then we're going Southern Miss plus 13.5.
Like it.
Hosting Mississippi State there. And then Sunday night we got the Gamecocks. They're gonna kick Virginia Tech's.
Don't like it.
Oh, they're gonna kick the hokey at them.
Okay, but you got Virginia Tech. Okay, so you're taking Gamecocks.
Yes, I want South Carolina.
Hokey also a bird. You could have gone either way in that one.
True.
7.5.
I don't like them though.
So pick 3 recap. You see ours up here on the board. I've got Auburn minus 2.5 tonight. Georgia Tech minus 4.5 tonight. Miami plus 2.5 Sunday night. Brownie over there is TCU minus 3.5. Colorado plus 4.5 tonight. Penn State minus 43.5. He'll sit back and just spin the wheel on that one, see how it lands. LT goes Ole Miss minus 34.5 against a Georgia State team. He's got Georgia Southern going across the country as a betting favorite minus 1.5 at Fresno State. In Miami, he's with me plus 2.5. And you just heard from Forrester and our buddy Brooks back there, who's been formally introduced and is now siding with the landmine, which is never a good betting favorite. That was brought to you by our friends at Buffalo Wild Wings. Our pick 3 3 or 4 times during the show today.
Hey, and their Pick Six is available all weekend long. Get in to watch all your college football action. Their Pick Six, $19.99 at Buffalo Wild Wings. Ultimate meal for 2. 2 entrees, 2 sides, 2 drinks. Pick Six meal for 2. Available participating locations. Get into one all weekend long. It's Buffalo Wild Wings.
Big news for Alabama. Nick Kelly reporting that Alabama guard Jaden Roberts cleared to play for Florida State. Yay, Alabama also making that announcement. He's been in a concussion protocol, missed a good portion of camp. He is cleared to play, that ahead of Alabama, Florida State. We'll talk about that game, Auburn's game in the week 1, all Monday, live on Labor Day at 9 a.m. Central Time. Until next time, God bless you and God bless America.